Hello there! And welcome back to another episode of Live at the Cantina. We got a special one for you guys today.
It's a special show today, guys.
It's probably going to be the most chaotic and hectic episode so far.
But probably one of the best.
Probably one of the best. We got a couple special guests on the pod this week.
Yeah, we do. If you guys can't see,
some of the boys are here.
Yeah.
So, to my left is Mr. Garrison Call.
General Kenobi.
There you go.
And to my right is Jordan Sanders.
That's me.
So they came and visited us at our university
For the Clone Wars.
for the Clone Wars. Very special occasion.
Yep.
They had to be here with us.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you guys for coming out.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Being on the pod. We're gonna have a good time.
It's going to be a good time.
We're gonna have a good time tonight. So I'm sorry, Jay.
I was just gonna say it's an honor to be on the greatest Star Wars podcast on the internet.
Oh, thanks, man.
Speaking the truth.
We appreciate it. Today's episode is going to be all about the Clone Wars.
Yep.
Ooh. We've been kind of holding off on this one for a while because, one, we wanted to wait for Season 7 to drop.
Yep.
And two, because we got some Clone Wars experts on the
we
couch.
we want the good Clone Wars boys on the show for this one, too.
Uh-huh. So we weren't going to do it without them.
Yeah. So just so you guys know, we're going to talk everything about the Clone Wars. So if you haven't seen it, spoiler warning for all of it in general. But then towards the end, we will talk about the new episode that just came out, and we'll say something before we start talking about that too. So if you want to stop listening if you haven't seen it or whatever, but we'll give you guys that warning. All right.
That being said, let's get into it.
Yeah.
So Star Wars: The Clone Wars, arguably some of the best Star Wars content ever.
Oh,
Hands down.
I would agree.
100%.
Hands down.
It's so, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just good.
No, yeah, everything that was done in the movies, the Clone Wars just does it better. The character development is better. Just the characters in general are better. Mm-hmm. Better Anakin, better Obi-Wan. Mm-hmm. But everything, it just dives deeper. There's more lore. It's just better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get to learn everyone else more from all the movies that you watch, and Clone Wars just gives you the opportunity to learn way more about each character.
It fills, I wouldn't say fills the world, but it expands on the world of the prequels. Mm-hmm. So that you watch episode 2 and you kind of get an idea of what's going on, and then you have the entirety of the Clone Wars so next time you go watch episode 3, you know everything that's happened in between, and it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And it really adds to Anakin's transformation to the dark side that kind of seemed a little bit much in the movies, but then through the Clone Wars you're like, oh yeah, that makes total sense.
You see his dark side tendencies.
Yeah, you see the dark side tendencies.
Yeah.
It just all makes sense. Everything just makes so much more sense. What you're kind of saying, how it fills or whatever you said about the world, with the prequels, it opens up this whole other side of Star Wars we didn't see in the original trilogy, with all these different planets and more species and stuff, and the Clone Wars explodes that into so many different directions.
So we were talking about Anakin. On the topic of Anakin, let's get into some of our favorite characters in the Clone Wars. I'll start off. My favorite character, technically characters, there's 3 of them, is R2-D2's unit of battle droids. That's
astromech droids?
No, B1 battle droids.
You said R2-D2's unit.
Yeah, he's got his own unit of
battle
droids.
In
the
Citadel episode.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Those are obviously my favorite characters. I'm kidding, but I like them quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're cool.
If I'm being real, favorite character in the Clone Wars, honestly, I'd say Anakin, because it's not the same Anakin that we see in the movies.
No.
And no disrespect to Hayden Christensen or anything, but this is a better Anakin.
Yeah. I think Hayden Christensen definitely played his role the way George Lucas had wanted.
Yeah.
And he did a good job at that. But the Anakin that we get from the Clone Wars, it's just better.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I love everybody in the Clone Wars, though.
Mm-hmm. There's so many good characters in it.
It's hard to pick just one.
Yeah. No, we definitely don't have to pick just one.
No.
You just say a couple of the ones you like, definitely, for sure.
Also, I really like Commander Wolf. I don't know, I think his armor's cool.
Yeah.
That's and then he's not in a lot of episodes, but like when he is, he's pretty sweet, and he's only got the one eye, which is cool. And then obviously Captain Rex, as the obvious one, probably the best clone. A lot of people would say.
Yeah.
I think. I'm trying to think of some other just weird, like, obscure characters. I don't know. Somebody else want to take this?
Yeah, I think we should just go down the couch, and then Garrison will go next.
For sure. My favorite character, honestly, throughout the entire Clone Wars is when Darth Maul first appeared. Honestly, when he showed up again, I've never felt so like hyped for like a villain ever.
Yeah, that was really hyped.
They knew exactly what character to bring back.
Yeah,
especially with like Mother Towson and the Night Sisters, they were able to like just help him out with just having revenge against those who betrayed him. And like he's just my favorite villain overall. Like with the whole like siege of Mandalore too, how he took over like pretty much a whole civilization with just like a syndicate army. And my favorite like Jedi character I like to say is Ahsoka. I have to say in the beginning I did not like Ahsoka because she came off as this like little kid. She's a kind of like a brat,
whiny.
Yeah, a little whiny too. But like that's like pretty much like what some of the characters are. But over time, especially with Ahsoka, her character development just went through the roof, man.
A lot of people felt that way. I think they didn't like Ahsoka when she first came out,
first.
especially in the Clone Wars movie.
Yeah,
but then she's had more character development than anybody, I think. And she's become
definitely
easily a fan favorite.
Especially for her first appearance was in the Clone Wars. That's her only, well, not anymore, but that's her only appearance was in the Clone Wars. So from beginning in there and how much growth that she had, that's a lot. It's
very impressive from very beginning to like all the way up to what we saw her in the trailers for the new season. Like she's undergone so much change in a good way too.
I like her relationship with Anakin too, as a Padawan.
Calls him Sky Guy and like all these other different
and, like,
nicknames.
The
it's
beginning
really cool
of the show.
Yeah,
that's one of the cool things about the Clone Wars too. Is I feel like a lot of like new Star Wars media that's canon, they kind of shy around adding like really big pieces of lore. But Clone Wars, it's just like Ahsoka, literally like Anakin's Padawan, like that's a huge thing. Or like Savage, like literally Darth Maul's brother,
right?
And like Darth Maul actually survives. Like that's a huge bit of lore that's like actually canon. It's just so cool.
No, I completely agree with you for sure. Is there any other favorite characters you have, Garrison?
Besides that, like those are the two from both sides are my favorite characters. Honestly, like this, like my second favorite from like anyone is General Grievous. I like him as a villain a lot. Like he has a terrifying presence. Always pounces on Jedi and like kills every single person.
Escapes.
Yeah,
he does.
He escapes every single time, like somehow, and has tuberculosis too.
Yeah.
So good. But yeah, besides that, that's all my favorite characters from the whole series. On to you.
All right. My favorite characters. Like an obvious one, this will be my number two is Darth Maul. I don't want to get too much into it because Gary just said it.
Yeah.
Obviously, Darth Maul's amazing. His whole entire transformation, like you get to go back to Dathomir, you get to meet his brother, everything around that, just so cool. But my number one favorite, and all throughout my childhood, starting with Jango Fett, I have just loved bounty hunters. Bounty hunters have just been the coolest part of Star Wars to me. And Jango Fett died in the movies, and I was like, now I don't have a bounty hunter to love, And then Cad Bane was brought into this series, and I was like, oh my god, this is the coolest guy in all of Star Wars.
I remember the first episode he was in, because I don't know if you were with me at my house, but I remember watching that on TV when he was first
I have no idea if I was with you.
That was such a long time ago, though. I don't know.
Yeah, that was the Holocron heist.
Yeah. Season
Such
1?
a good start.
2?
Beginning of season 2.
Yeah.
Such a good start to a season.
Yeah, well, before the Holocron heist was when he holds up the Senate. And you see how ruthless he is, and he's just like, if anyone moves out of this circle, like you're dead. And the guy's like, I don't have time for this.
And he
walks
literally
away, just
shoots
shoots him in
Yeah.
the back.
He literally just
Oh.
shoots him. Like he does not
means
mess
business.
around. Yeah,
He's
he's
ruthless.
all business.
And I love his voice and just
Yeah.
his whole look. He looks like a Western, like Star Wars. He's got that Star Wars space Western feel.
Yeah.
And I just love all his gadgets, different use of gadgets and whatnot. But those are my two. And honorable mention is Savage Opress
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and his transformation from just little Dathomir boy to jacked. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for me, it is so hard to pick, even like a top 3. I love so many characters. I mean, definitely, I'm not gonna go into too much because Cad Bane for sure. I love Cad Bane so much. Darth Maul as well. I love Darth Maul. Captain Rex, Ahsoka, Gregor. Do you guys remember Gregor
Yeah.
from the? He was on the episode with. It was the droid mission, and there was the I don't even remember that guy's name was. It was a little dude, and it
I know
was
what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, he was the clone that was. He was in a battle and he like kind of lost his memory a
Oh, and
little
he
bit.
had a family and everything.
No, not that guy.
Oh.
That's a different guy.
Yeah.
Different
This-
guy.
he was working at that diner. He was a dishwasher.
Yeah, he was a dishwasher
yeah,
at
he
a
was-
diner.
He was the
and,
clone commando.
Mhm.
He was cool.
Oh, yeah, another quick honorable mention. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
But 99.
No, yeah, I was about to say.
Oh,
that.
you were
99's is so good too.
He's so
yeah,
good.
So that's why it's so hard for me because I love the Clone Wars so much, and there's so many characters that like I could just. I
Yeah,
can't
just keep
pick a
going
top
on.
3. There's so many good characters.
I got another one I thought of during this.
Yeah.
Pre Vizsla.
Yeah, Pre Vizsla's pretty dope.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah, he's
guy.
bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was I liked him a lot.
And like Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars is great. So with Anakin's great
Yeah.
too. Man, there's just so many.
They're all good.
Echo, Fives,
Yeah.
Heavy,
Every clone.
Delta Squad or Domino
Squad, yeah.
that's what I meant.
Domino Squad.
but
yeah.
Fives is definitely probably my favorite out
Yeah.
of
Mhm.
all the Domino Squad. I liked Heavy though. Heavy was pretty cool too. But
Yeah, rest in peace.
all of them,
Rest in peace.
yeah.
Echo base clones. Rest in peace.
All right, let's. Do you got any other characters you guys want to talk about? It doesn't have to be favorite. Just ones you guys like or anything.
More honorable mentions.
Oh yeah, honorable mentions.
Honestly, Asajj Ventress.
Yeah,
really.
we haven't talked about Ventress.
yeah.
Ventress is like you see her in the beginning, like with Yoda, like being like, "Oh, I'm gonna prove to you my droid army's better than a one Jedi or whatever." But like, we just learn like overall that she has like this huge past that she used to be a Jedi until like her master died and she just got corrupted overall and was brought in by Dooku himself. But it was really cool knowing that they had a little spin off for her.
Yeah,
I just enjoyed that. Yeah.
Yeah, her character development is really good throughout the show. From going from Jedi to Sith, and then Count Dooku betraying
To her going
her,
to being a bounty
and then
hunter.
her being like a. Well, then she went to the Night Sisters, and she was a Night Sister, and then she went to bounty hunter. Like her character development's crazy. Her story is awesome. And that's another thing, just the Night Sisters.
And the Night
I
Sisters.
like
yeah.
that.
I
little
love
clan.
Dathomir.
I like seeing that dark use of the Force. At first, I was like, okay, this is a little weird. It's like magic in Star
Yeah, it's
Wars.
more
kind
mystical.
Of.
It's a
Yeah.
totally different element that we've never seen
Completely,
before.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's. I think it's cool
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's new and all that stuff.
So that cover it for characters.
Oh gosh,
I'm sure more will come up.
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
we-
more will come up over time.
I like Satine,
Yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Mandalore queen or whatever.
Obi-Wan's a lover.
Obi-Wan's
Past lover, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's. I was watching some stuff today, like things you should know before watching season 7 or whatever, because I was bored. And one of the things was Satine's and Obi-Wan's relationship. And there's that episode when there's the spider droids and that one cargo ship. You guys kind
Oh,
of remember that?
yeah.
And I don't remember what the guy's name was, but she had Satine at gunpoint, and Obi-Wan's like, I loved you or whatever. If you would have said the word, I would have left the Jedi Order or something. Like, dude,
Dang.
that hurts,
Wow.
man.
And
You
then
said the
Then
word.
she got impaled.
And then Darth Maul
Yeah.
killed her. That
And you always see Obi-Wan too, especially in the movies, as like he's like solid with the Force. Like Anakin's always the one who's like
Losing
veering
grasp.
from the Force, but you see it right there with Obi-Wan. It's like, man, even Obi-Wan had his doubts about the Force. You know?
Okay, let's move on. So another thing that makes the Clone Wars special is how a lot of it is not just single episodes. They have story arcs that 3-4 episodes at a time.
Yeah.
That tell one story, and some of those arcs are pretty good.
Yeah.
So
Some of them are trash too.
Some of them are really bad. Yeah, that's the thing about the Clone Wars. It's not a perfect show.
Yeah.
By no means is it a perfect show. Especially
It's
the
near
first-
perfect.
Yeah,
It's
it's
close.
near perfect.
Close enough. Close enough.
Closest thing we'll ever get.
There's definitely bad episodes that just are kind of a pain to get through.
Oh yeah.
I think we should talk about some of those too after we
Yeah,
talk about
yeah.
our favorite arcs, for sure.
Let's talk about the good ones though.
Yeah.
So my favorite story arc is I have probably two. First one is the Umbara arc, and the second one is not the Siege of Mandalore. What's it called? The Mandalore one with Darth Maul.
Where he just takes over
Where he takes
Yeah.
over.
and just
Isn't that the
rules
Siege
it?
of
Yeah, that is
Mandalore?
the Siege of Mandalore.
Yeah,
I
that is
thought
the season,
no,
right?
I thought the Siege of Mandalore was what we're getting this season.
Well, there's more than one Siege of
Yeah.
Mandalore, I think.
It's gonna be more than one.
Oh,
Yeah,
are you sure?
because I'm pretty sure one of the episodes is called the Siege of Mandalore.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure,
Anyway, it's the one. I
Yeah, if
think
anyone
it's,
has their phone, they can look it up real
I
quick.
don't. My phone's over
Yeah,
there.
I threw my phone over there,
Yeah.
but
It's the one. I don't remember if it's season 4 or 5. I think it's season 5. I don't know. It's one of those seasons. I think they're both in the same season, but those are definitely by far my two favorite story arcs.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. And as a kid, I always loved Jango Fett, mainly because I played the Star Wars Bounty Hunter on the GameCube. And my love for Jango Fett was just bloomed. But I always loved their armor, just the Mandalorian armor in general. So when they first had Death Watch appear, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, we're finally getting Mandalorians. And then you take Mandalorians, which are awesome, and then you take Darth Maul, which is awesome, and suddenly Darth Maul's the leader of the Mandalorians, and they're having like Darth Maul's on their like spikes on their helmet and stuff. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
yeah, and they repainted their armor to be
Yeah,
red.
to be
Yeah.
red.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that was dope. Like that one episode with Obi-Wan where he had all the Mandalorian armor on, and there's that one shot of him holding his lightsaber and those blast doors open, and the Mandalorians are all just fighting each
that's the
other and
best shot in the
explosion.
show.
The best shot in the show, dude. I've had that in my computer screensaver so many times. And like I remember one time watching some like dev guys or like behind the scenes of the Clone Wars, and one of the guys on their computer screen had that for their screensaver too. That shot is so good. It's awesome.
While we're on the subject of Maul, like on the control of Mandalore, Papa Palps comes out of nowhere
Yeah.
and just decides to be like, "You're betraying me," and like he just, you know, how, like he just walks up like out of his shirt, like hold it, and then he just starts choking them without even raising a finger, like both the Mandalorian guards, and obviously once he got to the like throne hall, he's like, I haven't felt the presence in so long. Then you see the Sith man coming right through. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that scene was Darth Maul, and he's on the ground. He's like, "Have mercy."
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's for Darth Maul to be saying something like that. He knows he's about to get messed up. But yeah, that end of the episode was really cool.
And like seeing him like getting electrocuted, it's like, I have other uses
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, it doesn't. mhm.
Yeah, it just cuts off after that for him.
That's another moment in the Clone Wars where they took a character like Darth Sidious, who was really important and awesome, but in the Clone Wars they just expanded on it. Whereas it's like you, especially in the very end of season 6, when you see how powerful Sidious is, like literally looking into the future and the whole, so cool.
Yeah. Was there any other arcs that you really enjoyed besides those?
Oh yeah, I think it was only 2 episodes, but the Trandoshan hunt arc.
Oh yeah.
That we talked about that one on the podcast before, but I really like those episodes. I think that would be just the coolest live action horror movie.
Yeah, I agree. That'd
That
be
would
really
be
dope.
so cool. Other than that, there's not really that many that come to my head right away. I mean, I can think of a couple, but like I wouldn't consider them to be my favorites.
Yeah.
So I'll pass the the mic.
All right, Garrison. What about you?
All right, same here. Siege of Mandalore, probably one of my favorite like arcs going on. Go.
I realized.
Yes, Kevin.
I didn't.
Yes.
I didn't. Yeah, I gotta raise my hand.
Kevin just rose his hand.
Yeah, for you audio listeners.
Well, I said the Umbara arc was one of my favorites. I didn't even talk about it,
Oh yeah. Talk about that.
Oh yeah.
dude.
Yeah, we're all gonna talk about this because I bet that's probably
Corral.
that's one of my favorites.
Is that
too.
the Dexter looking guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
General
Dexter-
Krell.
Yeah.
Extra Krill.
Man, what a stupid head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Really.
I don't like that.
Like, but just what that story did for, like, I mean, that's a clone-centered story arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all clones.
Those are some of my favorite episodes, is when it's focused on the clones. It was just so good, and then the reveal that they're fighting each other and not the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And then Waxer dies, and that was it. Waxer or Boyle? I think it was Waxer.
Waxer, yeah.
He gets killed because of it, and then they're gonna straight up firing squad Rex and and I don't remember who else.
I think it was Rex and Fives.
Maybe.
I bet Fives was in there.
And then they go back up to
Kicks.
Pong Krell's cell, and Rex is gonna kill him, but he can't. And then, who killed? Was it
Top.
Top
killed him.
Top killed him. Yeah.
Yeah. Top was the one with the little eye drop.
Yeah, with the man bun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The man
What was
bun
that?
he has.
Was that-
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
not the man bun.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what? Those episodes were just so good.
It's dark.
No, yeah, it's dark.
Yeah, it's dark and it's amazing.
No, I completely agree with you. That's one of my favorite arcs too. Is that arc? It's just it was so executed so well, and the story is just so nice with Krell. Like, because you see him as they bring him in as, oh yeah, this general has so many wins and just completely annihilates the battlefield. But then you see his tactics, and he's just so reckless, and he just throws clones out there like they're so
Just
disposable
like they're
people.
droids.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, so you're starting to get these kind of bad feelings about him. Like, wow, he doesn't care at all. And then, he ends up being a bad guy and making them fight each other. But yeah, it's just so good. And yeah, Waxer dying, dude, it's so sad. I don't know if you two remember who Waxer or just you guys listening.
Yeah, Waxer and Boyle.
Yeah, those were the
Boyle,
two
yeah.
people on
Geonosian.
Ryloth.
Ryloth.
Ryloth, yes. Not Geonosian.
And they were like the
Yeah.
scouters, and they had the little Twilight girl
Yeah.
with them. And when he died, he had that Twilight girl painted on his helmet. And it's
Yeah,
like,
that's so cool.
dude,
Gosh,
it's so
the little
sad.
details.
Yeah. What about you, Garrison, though? What are some favorite arcs?
Obviously, the Siege of Mandalore, probably one of my favorite ones. Like, as we just keep describing it, with Darth Maul and Death Squad just taking over, trying to take over the government. But also, I really like the when Obi-Wan turns into the bounty hunter after they try to put a hit on him, and then once he gets hit, and like it's supposed to be all a big trick to get like Riley Vow or
Morale Val.
Wally Vow.
Yeah,
How do you
what-
pronounce that?
I
How do you
think
pronounce
Morale
that?
Val.
I don't even know that guy.
Val.
But
Morale Evol.
Morale. But I really like that one with the prison break and the cube. I really like the cube with all the most dangerous bounty hunters that Dooku and that guy like got throughout the galaxy, and they just try to kill off who's actually the greatest one. I really like that one though.
I love seeing the process of them once they escape the prison, just like kind of getting their feet back together. Like, you don't just get all your stuff back out when you get out of jail. Like, you got to start from the beginning. Like, Cad Bane has all his gadgets are gone, and Obi-Wan gets his new bounty hunter armor and everything. That's an awesome arc.
Yeah, that is really cool seeing them get all their weapons, outfits, ship, and all of that.
Yeah.
And no, I agree with you, Garrison. Like the box, I don't remember what he would called it.
I think it was.
It was just
the
called
box.
the
No, it was
box.
the box.
It was the
yeah.
box.
There was an
Yeah.
episode called The Box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I agree. I really like that, seeing all those different kind of bounty hunters. It's a shame that a lot of them die right there, and there's
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. I think that's really cool.
The only thing I didn't like about that arc is the first episode in it. We get to see a bald and a beardless Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that is my sleep
Yeah,
paralysis
that's
demon.
really uncomfortable.
I did not like that. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
No one ever gets to see that until that scene for a minute. You just see him hairless. You just
Yeah, like, what?
like,
It
what
was
the heck?
Very
Yeah.
disturbing.
Yeah.
The reason why he did that, for you guys who don't know, is he was trying to make himself look like the bounty hunter that supposedly killed him, so he can infiltrate the prison and figure stuff out basically.
They extract his DNA into a needle and just injected him, and he was having like a seizure or something for a second. Then he changed his face completely to the bounty hunter, which I thought was insane, though.
Yeah. Any other arcs?
Besides that, you guys pretty much covered like Ralph and all that, but I'm pretty good with
All right, what about you,
my
Jordan?
stand.
Yeah, those ones are all solid. I also really like the Geonosis bit. The whole thing from it's just they go and have this great battle on Geonosis, and it's just super intense. And that's my favorite thing about Star Wars is like large scale battles with all the explosions and laser bolts firing. But then like it dies down, and then you get the eggs of the Geonosians turning everyone into zombies. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the one with Ahsoka and Barriss when they get trapped underneath?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. With the droid factory in Geonosian.
Yeah, and then they get that one clone's infected and they don't know, and he fills his backpack with eggs and sneaks onto the ship
Yeah.
and infects everyone.
And the little worms go up their nose. That's how that.
Favorite scene is when Obi-Wan and Anakin, who was the Jedi Master, got kidnapped. Luminara.
Dooley,
when Obi-Wan was observing the worms, like, I'm curious, where does it enter, the ear or the nose? I'm like, Obi-Wan, what the heck? Why would you say that?
Yeah, Luminar is like, I don't want to find out.
He's like, I'm curious. It's like,
No,
Obi-Wan.
yeah, that's so funny. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Because Anakin is supposed to go and blaze in. Obi-Wan's like, I need to study this.
It's like, why? It's a worm that controls your mind. But yeah, Geonosis is really cool too with the queen. The queen is huge.
Yeah.
You
Gross.
realize that? Yeah. Oh my gosh, like the king, like you think like compared to like the king of Geonosis, like he's like just a normal guy. The queen's just like 2 story figures tall. Like, oh my lord, seeing her for the first
She's
time.
chunky.
Yeah.
She's thick.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah, I also really like Maul. The Darth Maul story is actually kind of a few different arcs. Like there's the whole Mandalore bit, but there's also Savage when his kind of origin story, and then he finds Darth Maul, and then that kind of arc of them together with Darth Maul kind of getting his sanity back and them starting to build their army. That's one of my favorites too. Dead air.
No. Yeah. Sorry, we apologize for that.
No, I just want to make sure you're done. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, definitely, I agree with basically every arc you guys said. I love all those. I really like Domino Squad, that arc with the training and seeing 99 because 99 is awesome, and seeing just all like the training process and everything. Gosh, you guys really nailed like all the good arcs.
I totally forgot the whole siege on Camino.
Oh,
Trying to take
Camino.
That's a great one.
Oh, that one's so good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Ventress trying to like steal the DNA and stuff. Yeah, that one's super great too. I love the arc. Oh gosh, there's so many good arcs. I love the
Trooper 99.
I love the arc when Fives finds the tumor on. Oh gosh.
Oh yeah, he starts figuring out
his
Order
name?
66.
Top.
Oh,
Yeah, on
yeah.
top. Starts figuring out Order 66. Yeah, it's.
I'm
feels
so
bad for
excited
him.
to see where that goes in the new seasons. Like,
Yeah,
who's
oh,
gonna
gosh.
make it? Who's gonna be defective? Who gets their brain chip taken out?
Do you guys? We're talking a lot about arcs, but there's a lot of just good like single episodes too. Do you guys have a favorite like single episode? Like I know one of mine for sure is when I think it was in season 1. It was the rookies episode when they're on the clones are on the base. Some
what is it?
moon.
Oh, it's just called Rookies. That's
Yeah,
the episode.
yeah, that
Echo Base.
That's
Was it Echo Base?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the name.
That's
yeah.
that's a classic
That's the
episode.
one
That
where
is.
Heavy dies. I remember playing that one on the Lego Star Wars 3. That was
Oh,
good.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
fun. That was such a good episode.
Oh man, yeah.
You were talking about a little bit ago the Night Sisters and how we saw that part, the sort of magical side of the Force, the mystical side.
Yeah.
Mortis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't
That
even
was
say
a
that.
mystical planet. That you see Qui-Gon there. That's when you see Anakin's dark side tendencies. You see Vader. That was a crazy episode.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that arc too. That I really like that arc. There's so many things about that arc that I really like, but one of the things that I don't like is Anakin sees the future and he sees what he's gonna do, you know, and then but I mean he kind of turns bad.
Yeah, he
After he
does.
sees what he's gonna do, he turns bad anyways in that moment. But a part of me is just like, oh my gosh, you see what it's gonna be like. It's not gonna happen. The prequels are out. Everybody knows what the story is, you know. But it's just like, come on, you see what the future is like. Change it. Like, be with Padme and just be happy. And like, the universe isn't gonna, bad. But I mean, that's clearly not gonna happen. But I know I love that arc. That arc is so cool. Seeing the dark and the light and the balance in between them.
Especially when the king just like tells like Anakin, since you are the chosen one, you're the only one to control both my children at once. And like when they were both beasts, when Anakin was like in the middle, it was super cool how each like hand he was like bringing down each of the children. They were like giant beasts too, and like so cool, so cool.
Yeah, and you also get to see Anakin getting so much more weight put on him, because even ever since he was a child, he's been told he's the chosen one.
Yeah.
And then when you go to there, he gets his memory wipe from seeing the future, but they still remember being on Mortis. He only gets the memory wipe of seeing the future. So he has all that weight of wow, I like am supposed to be the chosen one. So it's no wonder why Anakin is the way he is and what he does. Like that's a lot of weight to put on someone's shoulders. But yeah, favorite single episodes, I don't know. Rookies is such a good one.
Thinker.
Yeah, you
that is
gotta
a
pick out
thinker.
which ones aren't part of episodes.
That is a good one.
You don't have to answer that
Yeah.
if you don't want to.
I honestly, I mean,
can't
Rookies
think
is
of
great,
anything.
but yeah, I don't know. That's really hard to think.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like just not in arcs, or they
Yeah,
can be
just
in
like
arcs?
one-off
I'm just thinking
episodes.
one-off
One-offs.
episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. I would say the Gregor episode, but that's part of an arc.
Yeah, I feel like, especially towards the later seasons, I think they're like all arcs.
They're all arcs. Yeah.
I like.
It's only in the first like 1 or 2 seasons where they have those single episodes.
I really liked the little episode where Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka were trapped. I forgot what planet it was, but they trained like a bunch of farmers to fight against. Oh my gosh, who was that?
Oh
pirate
yeah,
leader?
the bounty hunter arc.
Yeah. Like I like that. Like, they train villagers to fight for themselves.
Are you talking about episode 4 of The Mandalorian?
Yeah, chapter 4
Oh,
of the
Chapter
Mandalorian.
4, my bad.
Yeah,
Because that is literally what that is.
No, yeah,
It literally is. Yeah, that.
I don't totally remember this, but it just sparked my memory. What was I don't know if it was an arc or just an episode, but there's a commando clone who's kind of like deserted on a planet by himself. It's kind of like a sandy planet.
Sorry, Garrison
happening?
just hit the mic and I
My bad.
punched him in the face.
Is a sandy planet and it's deserted by
Yeah, it's like a
himself?
really bright planet.
Are you talking about Gregor?
That's Gregor.
Oh, that is
Gregor.
Gregor.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's another deserted clone who's got a wife and kids.
That's what I was thinking of again.
Yeah, that was. Oh gosh,
I don't
what was
remember
his
his
They,
name.
they left him behind, and then Rex finds him, and they take care of him.
Yeah, and then they get ganged
Yeah.
by some droids.
Well, I really like that, seeing. That's one thing that we'll talk about a little bit about, like clones in the Clone Wars in general. But having that interaction between Rex and that guy, which I can't. Do you guys remember what his name was?
No
I
idea.
don't remember.
I can't remember what his name was either. But seeing the other side of, yeah, I deserted the war because I don't want to fight this war I have nothing to do with or whatever. I saw all my brothers die, so I just left, and like
They're not 100% obedient as
Exactly,
you thought they
yeah.
were in the movies.
no, yeah, it brings so much to
Depth.
them in depth, yeah. But
I remember in the very first episode, there's a good episode right there, the very first one-off episode with Yoda and those 3 clones, and they're in a cave, and he goes, "Take off your helmets." And they're like, "We all have the same face, sir."
yeah,
And he's like, "But individuals you are." And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that just sets the tone for the whole
it really
Clone
does.
Wars. And like they call it the Clone Wars, and it's called the Clone Wars for a reason.
Right. I would argue the Clone Wars is more all about the clones and stuff than it is about Anakin.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the prequels is like Anakin's story basically, but I think the Clone Wars isn't really necessarily just Anakin's story. I think it's the Clone War story.
It's just about the war in general.
Yeah, like the war and the clones. Well, I mean, of course, everything's in it though, but yeah.
But yeah.
But I mean, I think favorite arcs we were talking about. Other than that, we hit so many
I
good
think
ones,
we covered all the main ones.
Yeah,
unless
all the
there's
big ones.
Something we can't think of right now. But,
which we'll probably hate or punch ourselves later because like, oh my gosh, I love that arc.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
I mean, another one
Oh.
I want to touch on that. I mean, it had a couple bad episodes, but the first like 1 or 2 were pretty good. It was with all the Jedi kids when they went to Ilum to
Oh,
build the
yeah, I
lightsabers.
agree.
I didn't
Yeah.
mind that.
Yeah, that was cool seeing them build their
Yeah.
lightsabers
Yeah.
and just like the process of a Padawan.
Yeah. And how the kyber crystals choose you. You don't choose a kyber crystal.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that. No,
I
I
really
agree.
like that.
The beginning, like 1-2 episodes are good, and then,
And then
like,
it gets kind of bad.
and then there's like 5 episodes. I think.
Yeah, they dragged it
It's
on
like,
for way too
dude,
long.
I don't want to see these kids anymore.
Yeah.
Please
Yeah, I
get
don't
them
want
out
to see
of
these kids
here.
for 5 episodes.
Yeah,
please.
but no, the beginning part's really good. I like that. I like seeing Ilum and all that.
I like the Malevolence. That was a pretty alright
Yeah,
one.
the giant ship.
Yeah, the giant ship that like was just
Oh.
a giant ion cannon.
Yeah.
that they had. Yeah, I like that a little bit.
Yeah, and you had the droids that would go around and go to the escape pods.
Yeah.
and cut it open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be terrifying.
Yeah,
man.
that's terrifying,
Oh my
dude.
gosh.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
I'd like to say some of the worst episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
dishonorable
worst.
mentions.
Just
Yeah.
dishonorable
Yeah.
mentions. Everyone with Jar Jar in it. He was bad in the movies. Why did you bring him back into the Clone Wars? He's still terrible. I just hate it. He's like, oh, I did something clumsy, but secretly made everything better, even though it's what? Like it takes me out of it. It's like the
Yeah.
Clone Wars are so realistic and dark, and then Jar Jar just is irritating.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
such an annoying character.
The only for arguing you for that, I do like the very last arc with Jar Jar in it.
What was that?
It's with Jar Jar and Mace Windu, and Mother Talzin's in it. Oh my gosh, I can't even like remember what was going on. There was like something going on that one planet, and like Jar Jar had a lover on that planet. It was in season 6.
Oh,
Do you guys remember
yeah.
that? It was like the queen of that planet, and there was someone like taking their Force essence out of. I just like the lore that came out of that. I mean, yeah, like Jar Jar's annoying, but I just seeing that, I don't know, seeing a side of Jar Jar where somebody actually likes him, and they're like, you know,
Yeah.
and they're like
Yeah.
making out or whatever. And then there's this one part which I think is hilarious. Mace Windu's like, I wish I knew what they were doing, and they're like, oh, they've been in that room for hours, and then it, like you're like, what the heck? And then it cuts to them, they're like doing these weird dancing and stuff. It's
I was thinking more of the episodes that are kind of poopy with him in it is the one where he's with Padme and they go to talk to that guy. Oh shoot, he what's the Rodian?
yeah, Rhodey.
The Rodian guy who turns out to be a Sith. That one was just an
mic's off.
intermediate.
For your audios listeners, Kevin didn't put his stand on the correct way on the table like I suggested to him, and it fell off. So he turned his mic off and is trying to fix that right now. But yeah, you go ahead, keep going, Jordan.
And then another one with Jar Jar is when
We're back.
there's
baby.
that crazy mad doctor who created this like plague that he's like, I'm gonna wipe out the whole universe. He's like, yes. Oh my gosh, this guy, like, it was cool, but it was just
Is that the blue shadow
blue
virus?
shadow
the
Yeah,
blue shadow
yeah,
virus.
shadow virus.
And then in the end, they're like, okay, we can't open the doors or everything will be doomed if even a little bit of that blue shadow virus gets out. And at the end, they're just out.
Yeah, they're just
And me and
out.
Gary are watching it. We're like, wait.
Yeah,
no,
How
it's-
did they just get out?
No, they
Yeah,
literally,
exactly.
no, they literally said, "Hey, do not let anyone out because we do not want the planet or the universe to die." What did they do? They let everyone out, and apparently the virus is gone now.
Yeah,
because like,
no, I that's exactly the first
Like,
thing.
what?
When I rewatched it and I saw that, like, oh yeah, Anakin and Obi-Wan got the cure or whatever.
What are they gonna do now?
Yeah, how are they gonna?
How are they gonna get the
everybody
cure to
out
do
and
that?
stuff? Oh no, they're just out.
it was good now.
all
Apparently
good.
the cure just solves everything. I don't know.
Your mic's on, right?
Yeah, you guys were just super loud, so I had to turn the
sorry.
gain down.
Oh,
No, it'll be fine.
sorry, audience members.
It's okay.
It's
Just
okay.
Keep the game where
the
it's
only
at. It's
audience
fine.
member is me. And,
Yeah, exactly. It's just Garrison and Jordan all the time. Well, we'll do what Jordan was telling about the compiling and stuff.
compressing.
Compressing, that's what it was
Yeah.
called.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of coding in PDS, my computer science class. Coding. What's other
Another
bad
arc.
arcs?
Oh, I have a good
Oh,
one.
yeah, good one. Yeah, go.
Mon Cala or Mon Calamari.
Moncala.
I didn't like that one that much.
I thought it was okay. I liked the shark villain because he was a
I
shark.
like
Okay,
Kit
go.
Fisto.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
it was,
it. I
yeah.
love Kit
Kit
Fisto.
Fisto.
So yeah,
Is it Mon Cala or Mon Calamari? What's the planet
well,
name?
I think they're called
I think
Mon Calamari.
they're called.
Calamari.
Mon
I think
Cala. from-
the planet's called Mon Cala,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
gosh.
but they're called Mon Calamari.
Mon
And then there's the
Calamari.
Mon Calamaris and there's the
Quarrens.
Corins. Yeah.
Yeah. Honorable mention.
Honorable mention. Yeah, it's okay. I'm not a huge
Yeah.
fan of it.
Because I I liked it.
It's yeah.
They're fine.
But some bad arcs. The Jar Jar.
Even though Jar Jar
Arcs.
was in that one, I didn't mind that episode. Really.
Yeah, he was in that.
I don't mind it.
And he spit. Yeah, I remember. You know that part where Anakin, Jar Jar, and Padme are getting interrogated by the shark, and the shark goes up and bites Padme's. What the heck is that thing called?
Helmet.
Her helmet off.
And yeah, and it starts to like seep and the water seeping in.
Yeah.
And Jar Jar just spits on her helmet so the
Yeah.
water doesn't get out. When I saw that, I was like, dude, that's disgusting. And like, imagine that though. You're underwater. You have this thing right in front of you, and there's just gross saliva just all over. That's so nasty.
And you have to breathe that in too.
It's
like
so
that's your
gross.
like other form of oxygen blocking the water. Like Jar Jar spit. Imagine breathing that in for like 3
I
hours
probably can
or whatever.
smell it.
Gosh, I would not hang out with Jar Jar after that, even though he saved my life underwater.
What's some other dry arcs?
This is a pretty dry episode. It's just like some of those meh episodes. It's like,
Yeah.
all right. And one of those was when they go to that snowy planet. You do get to see the clones. I think it's in season 1 or season 2. You get to see the clones' snow armor, which is pretty cool because you only see that in the original trilogy, the Stormtrooper snow armor.
Yeah.
Snow
But
troopers.
it's where they are trying to. There's like those natives that look really weird. They're like the hairy guys, and they're trying to establish peace with them. But that blue guy's like, no, they're savages. Like we own this.
Yeah.
That guy was just like, he was supposed to be, but he was really irritating. That was just a mess.
He was like the chancellor or something. Not chancellor. What was
It's
he?
like a prime minister,
Prime minister.
something like that. Yeah.
He was the he was the chairman. He's like chairman, and
Yeah,
he's like,
chairman, that's
the
what it
guy.
was.
He's like, yeah, it's our moon, so it belongs to ours because it's our moon. It's like,
Well, these people were here first.
Yeah,
so
these people
technically it's
were-
not.
these
Yeah,
people
no,
literally
that,
said they were
that
here
guy was
first.
so irritating.
Yeah.
He was,
I was like, dude, this guy's totally gonna die in this episode. Like, there's no way. Like, he's been,
I'm glad he died.
yeah, got speared. It's
He
like,
got
okay,
what he
good.
deserved.
Yeah, he did get what
Yeah.
he deserved. I think some other dry arcs are probably the droid arc before you get to see Gregor with R2.
I think
and
the
them.
whole arc was bad except for that one episode.
No, yeah, that's what
and
I'm
the only
saying.
reason that episode was good was because of Gregor.
Because yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's just
I
it's
did-
just so dry. Like I don't care. Like
I
ooh,
really like the
R2.
super command droid, like super command battle droid. Like the like there's like those command battle droids, like you saw in like the Siege of Felucia or Ryloth, I mean. Like those that one commander droid sitting on his tank that's like but like there's the super commando ones. Do you remember those guys? They were just like they just looked better and just
Commando droids?
no, they were commando droids, but they were just like more upgraded and they were like bigger in stature and like they were just smarter.
No,
in
I think I
general.
know what you're talking. Yeah,
They showed
I don't know
one
if
guy
I
in
don't know if
Red
that
Rebels.
they're called commander droids and commando droids.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know what the term
I
is
think
for
they're
the guy.
called commander droids.
Commander droids, yeah. I mean, I just remember like him fighting R2 when like R2's just trying to like blow up. R2 was trying to like blow up everything. And
What are you pointing at?
He's like
yeah, I keep like
talking
looking
this
over
way.
here on accident.
Oh,
But I don't know. That's like the
Mike.
one little part when R2 fought the commando droid.
okay. Yeah, I remember talking about.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I like that part at least.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's some cool stuff in that, like seeing the droids get upgrades and stuff.
Yeah.
but it's just
Yeah, beyond that, it's just like they just dragged it on.
Another couple dry episodes. I feel like all the Padme and Clovis stuff. Not a fan of it. I only liked it when Anakin beat the crap out of him.
Dude, that was good,
Yeah.
dude.
I love
Dark
that.
side
I was
tendencies,
so
yes.
I loved seeing Clovis get beat up. That was great.
Fight me like a real man, and he can just beats the crap out of him.
Yeah, that was good. But Clovis' story is kind of a tragic story though.
Yeah,
Because
it
at
is.
first he's kind of like this. He's this bad guy separatist, and then he does change his ways. But then Count Dooku kind of gets a grasp on him, and there's nothing he can do about it. But he changed his way. He was supposed to be this good guy,
Yeah,
but nobody believed it. And it's like, oh, now you kind of feel bad for him at the end.
Did he take control of the banking clans or something? Was
They
that
control
him?
the banks.
Or to control the banks?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then
We haven't
politics,
talked about.
man.
Yeah, politics.
Not for me. Not in Star
Yeah.
Wars. That's
I love the politics and stuff.
yeah, honestly, I was about to say when I was younger, yeah, that all went over my head. But after rewatching it again, I kind of like the politics part. It just brings us so other new level to Star Wars in its depth.
I can understand and appreciate it, but it's not my I don't.
No, yeah, I mean, I'm not
Not your
saying
cup of
that.
tea.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch some politics episodes over like ARC troopers fighting stuff, but I don't know. I like it.
Yeah. We haven't talked about Dooku much. He is leaps and bounds better as a character in the Clone Wars than in the actual movies. In the movies, you don't even see much of him and don't really care too much about him or understand his power, but he's a big deal in the Clone Wars.
Oh yeah.
Especially his name, Darth Tyrannus. Ooh, love his name.
I love Count Dooku so much because of the Clone Wars now. He's probably one of my favorite Sith. And just seeing, how powerful he is and his devotion to Emperor Palpatine is crazy.
It's insane,
As
yeah.
soon as Emperor Palpatine was like, get rid of Asajj Ventress, and he just, he
does it right away.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
he knows.
he definitely
knows.
has some inner conflict. You can kind of see it. But he's so devoted to him. And then...
That scene when he fought the two sisters and Ventress when they were invisible.
Yeah.
That was so
Oh,
cool.
I love
Yeah.
that.
He's in his
We tried to get-
pajamas.
The exquisite pajamas.
Exquisite pajamas,
Yeah.
dude.
You know what I just realized today? Because I watched the very last episode of the Clone Wars today. His dark ritual skin in Battlefront is called that because he wears that outfit when he's doing a dark ritual.
Wow. Yeah, and you see at the very end of the Clone
Yeah,
Wars.
literally the very last
Only
episode.
one episode. Same with
His ritual pajamas.
Yeah, same with his pajamas.
Another quick, because we've been on the arcs for a while, but another quick little arc is the very one at the end with Yoda. I just like, as we've talked about a few times, the mysticalness to the Force, you see in this with the Night Sisters. That's the magical. It's a magical side to it, and then there's Mortis, and it's like the Force just is so much more like just, I don't know the word to describe it, just crazy than I originally thought. And then with Yoda, and there's those white masks, spirits, and looking into the future, and oh my gosh, the Force is just something else.
Yeah, it's honestly crazy watching the Clone Wars now and thinking of it in respects to Episode 3. Yoda knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah,
And he was just kind of oh, we're just gonna kind of shove this
makes
under
more
the
sense
rug,
why he exiled himself.
Yeah, then they found out that Count Dooku was the one that helped make the clone army, and the council was like, "Yeah, we're just gonna keep this from the Chancellor. We're just gonna hide it in the rug like it didn't happen." Dude, no wonder why you guys got extinct.
Yeah.
Basically, you guys are idiots.
Guys deserved it.
It's we'll just
66.
keep using the clones that were made by the enemy. Yeah, maybe hopefully nothing bad happens. No, yeah, I agree though. I like that arc. The amount of lore that comes out of that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love the
All
lore.
of season 6 too with the lore.
Season 6 is just
It's
lore.
insane.
Yeah, it's great
insane.
for a season that didn't even originally air until Netflix had it come out, right? Isn't that season 6?
Yeah, season
Yeah,
six.
I
They,
think
they
you're
had
right,
the
yeah.
special episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're pretty good on the. I mean, we're kind of jumping all over the place, but it doesn't really matter.
That's what we do on the show.
Yeah, we just jump all over the place. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit about favorite season, I guess. So let's start on this side, going this way now. I'd probably say mine would be, I don't know, it's either season 4 or season 5. I can't decide which one. Both of them have such good arcs. Because season 4 has the Umbria arc.
Was
I
that
think it's
season 4?
Season 4 also has the arc with Obi-Wan.
As the bounty hunter
Yep.
guys.
And it has some Maul
Yeah,
stuff
it's like
as
the
well.
beginning of Maul.
Yeah.
And then season 5 has more Maul and...
I'm looking this up. I gotta know what season is which.
I looked it
Yeah.
up a bit before this. I still can't put. They all get mixed
I know,
around.
it's so I literally just looked it up right beforehand. Oh crap, I forgot to look up what season I like the best. I feel like that's kind of a hard question.
Yeah.
What's
It
your
really
favorite
just
season?
comes down to what your favorite.
I think-
what has the best arcs in it.
Yeah, I agree. Because you might have one season that has your favorite arc in it, but yeah.
I would definitely say though, season 1 and 2, as good as they are, I don't think season 1 is the best at all.
Yeah, I would probably put season 1 at the
Yeah,
worst.
season
honestly.
one's more choppy.
It's
the
just more
Yeah.
no arcs. It's just episodes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was their first season, and they were
And it was more family friendly.
yeah.
Family
Yeah.
friendly.
That's a thing about the show is that it grew up with its audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did definitely.
You know, especially like our age and our demographic is. It started off as a kids show, but I mean we were kids when we started watching it.
But it was TV 14.
Yeah. But as we grew older, the show got more and more dark and intense, and you know it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Garrison have a running joke that we'll say while we're watching it. Anytime like something really violent or just incredibly dark happens, we'll just go, "Yeah, this is a kid show."
Yeah, it's a kid show.
Yeah.
When someone literally gets shot in the face or in the chest, yeah, this is a kid show.
There was a pretty big arc that we didn't even talk about.
I know there's. I knew there was.
How I'm gonna say this, and you're gonna be like, how do we?
Yeah, I'm
forget
gonna
that
slap
one?
myself.
The one where Ahsoka gets framed.
Oh,
See, dude, I told you. I knew we were missing something.
That's a huge one.
Yeah,
That is so big.
That's the
yeah.
whole reason why she left
Yeah,
too.
that
Oh my
arc is
God.
so good.
Yeah.
That's season 5.
Dude,
yeah.
Season 5 has the Mandalore arc and the Ahsoka arc, and season 4 has the Umbara arc.
Yeah. I have to say, after season 6 and like that whole arc, I have to say this now, I hate Commander Fox.
Yeah.
The Coruscant like commander for
Yeah, like the prison dude or whatever.
I do not like him whatsoever because he didn't give him access for Anakin to just see her, and he literally threatened Anakin, "Sir, you better leave, or I'm gonna have to make you leave." It's like, dude, you're such a what?
Yeah, like-
you're so mean. Just let him see him. her.
That
Like,
part, you almost think Anakin's about to
yeah, like
pull his
Yeah.
lightsaber out, dude. He's about to do
or he's
something.
like
to him.
choke.
Yeah, he's gonna
Fox
like
or
choke him.
something,
Yeah,
like,
that
on
was
the screen. Yeah,
It's crazy.
that's another little bit that adds to just Anakin wanting to turn bad,
Dark side tendencies.
turn to bad
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
It's because his attachment to Ahsoka too. Everyone he gets attached to people so much,
Yeah,
and
he
then
does.
it's sad when he doesn't have it
I have to
anymore.
be really off topic, but like when Anakin like gets really mad during that arc, but like one really particular scheme. Remember when the Geonosian King was like in interrogation, and Anakin was just super upset about something.
Yeah.
He's like, "Leave me and him," and he's like, "I don't need Jedi mind tricks to get you." And he just starts beating him and choking him. Like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
like I've never seen him force choke anyone. I'm like seeing that first off like scared me. I'm like, whoa, dude. Like this is like a Jedi using force choke. No one uses force choke in Jedi. I was like, Anakin, what
dude,
the heck?
Yeah, later on in the seasons and like towards more half end of the Clone Wars, Anakin really starts going out with his force abilities and just starts force choking people like crazy. Those dark side tendencies are there, dude.
They're ridiculous.
Speaking of force abilities, this is very off topic too and random, but there's this the scene when they capture Cad Bane the first time and they're trying to get information out of him.
Oh, yeah.
And they go, he's not giving us information. What should we do? And then they decide to all do mind tricks on him at the same time. And they're like, are you sure we should do this? We could literally just completely destroy his whole entire brain. And they're like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, let's do it.
Like, yeah, you guys are really peacekeepers here.
Yeah.
No, yeah, dude, that's so messed up.
He's like, get out of my head.
Yeah, he's like spazzing out.
He almost gave in until he fought.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's not the Jedi,
Jedi
way,
be
man.
like peacekeepers.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
oh my gosh,
We're
that's so
gonna get in
brutal.
your brain.
But
Yeah.
no, yeah. If you guys just think of anything about the Clone Wars, just say it. It doesn't. We don't have to be
Yeah.
in any
Clone
order.
Troopers.
This is all about the Clone Wars.
Troopers.
What? You're doing research over there, Kevin.
I am.
Seasons. What are you thinking?
I want to say season 5, but the thing with season 5 is there's a lot of arcs in here that I am just not a fan of. We got the whole droid squad
Yeah.
arc. There's the arc with all the lightsaber kids and stuff. The very beginning of season 5, I hate. I mean, not the first episode, but once they get into the stuff with
after?
Saw Gerrera and all those
Oh,
people,
yeah.
didn't like those episodes really at all. Other than that, season 5 was pretty solid. Let me just, because then you got the Mandalore arc and then the Ahsoka arc, and then season 4, Umbara was obviously the best arc in there. Trying to think. Let me see if there's the arc where they pretend to be slaves. I guess they are slaves. They don't really pretend to be.
No,
No, yeah, they pretty
Obi-Wan
much
is
are.
legitimately
I
a
mean,
slave in
they
this
could
one.
they could really escape at any time. I feel like,
And then you got-
except for Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Obi-Wan was
Obi-Wan and
screwed.
Captain Rex. They can't do anything.
Yeah, just looking at that. Season 5 was pretty meh.
Yeah,
I mean, the only really good arcs for season 5 were the last two. The rest of the season was just so I'd honestly say season 4 is probably the best if I had to pick a definite.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably agree with you. Definitely not 1, 2, or 3.
What do you guys think of Pre Vizsla's lightsaber making an appearance in The Mandalorian?
Oh, the dark saber.
Yeah, the
dark
coolest
saber.
lightsaber in all of Star
Yeah.
Wars, in my opinion.
Oh, dude, that was really hype.
Dude, they say that sword dates back in the Jedi archives like years. Like that was created like beyond like the lightsabers or whatever. It was made to like fight like obviously Jedi and like anyone like wielding a lightsaber. But that sword, when that it just looked
So
like a
cool
black
looking.
hole saber.
I'm
yeah.
excited to see how Moff Gideon got it because there were a lot of Clone Wars goodies in that last,
Yeah.
Yeah.
last
Th-
episode.
that's
Yeah.
one thing that I've really like how they've kind of handled some of the lore with Star Wars, with like Disney buying it or whatever. Seeing like Saul Guerrera in Rogue One, like building on that, because I mean he's kind of a forgettable character in the Clone Wars, but he's not really in Rogue One. You're like, oh yeah, you know, Saul Guerrera or whatever, and then bringing all that stuff from the Mandalorian. I mean, yeah, Dave Filoni worked on the Clone Wars, of course. He's got to bring his stuff into Mandalorian, but I like seeing all these lores connect to each other.
Yeah, it's cool too, because I was afraid, like, once Disney took over, I was like, man, there goes all our Clone Wars stuff. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, we're not going to see any of that anymore. So I've been happy with what we saw in The Mandalorian. And I'm hoping this season 7 of the Clone Wars is going to rekindle everyone's love for that part of Star Wars.
Definitely.
Maybe we'll see something in Battlefront. I don't know.
Yeah.
Please,
hopefully.
more content.
Please.
Please. We just want the content.
Yeah.
Give us all the content.
All right, let's talk about clone troopers, just in
Clone
general.
troopers.
Just like all over the board, just clone troopers. Like favorites,
Everything.
everything about clone troopers,
Let's
basically.
talk.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Phase 1 or Phase 2?
Phase 2.
Phase
Phase
2.
two. Yeah.
Phase
Phase
2.
two,
So
gang.
cool.
I'm conflicted on this. For the
Get out,
Phase
leave.
1 gang?
No, okay. For the longest time, I was Phase 1 gang.
Yeah, I
but
know.
like recently, like the past month, I've been like, dang, dude, Phase 2 kind of hits different.
Yeah.
really
And
sexy.
also, like,
Yeah.
the Clone Wars makes the Phase 1 helmet look way cooler than it normally does. For
the
some
movies.
reason, in the movies, the Phase 1 helmet is just like bugs me. Like the neck is like comes out. I don't know.
I mean, it's the CGI, dude. It's just it's
Yeah.
trash. Like, no, I agree. The armor in the Clone Wars series looks so much better.
I argue that for Phase 2. I prefer the CGI Phase 2 rather than the animated from Revenge
Really?
of the Sith. Yeah.
Really?
Man, now I have to go compare
But
the two.
I'm the other way around for Phase 1. I like Clone Wars Phase 1 better than CGI.
Yeah, that's
Attack of the
yeah.
Clones.
Yeah, I mean, now I have to go look at the episode
Yeah.
3 because now you're saying that. But if you didn't say that, I'd say
Remember
Clone Wars both
remember
all the
Clone
way.
Boy from the hockey game?
yeah.
He was Revenge of the Sith.
He was Revenge of the Sith, yeah.
It's that I like that better. Than, you can tell it's in the helmet.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No, now I have to compare the two.
Yeah.
But one thing that I really want to talk about the clones is clones having personalities. They have
Yeah.
individuality. You know, with seeing the prequels, they seem so robotic and they seem so we follow orders and that's it. But the Clone Wars, they're not like that. They're basically just normal humans.
That's what makes their army better than the droids, is because they can think for themselves.
Yeah, they're their own person, but at the same time can still be commanded from higher ups to like take any command really.
Yeah.
Like obviously as we've seen.
No, yeah, like what you were just saying, Jordan, too, about what did you just say? Wow, I just like lost my
What did I
head
say?
with
Independent thinkers.
independent
Oh.
thinkers.
Even though
I wanted to go. I wanted to talk more on that. I was like, oh wait, I just had a brain fart. But yeah, they're independent thinkers, and we have some episodes where Kevin's slurping.
I'm very
down.
thirsty.
You're a
But we have
thirsty
those
boy.
episodes
Parched.
where, like the Umbara
Umbrella.
arc.
Umbrella.
Yeah.
Umbrella arc.
That arc where they're so conflicted with following General Krau's orders, and but they're like, it's not the right thing to do. Sometimes doing the right thing isn't following orders, you know.
Exactly.
And it's so good.
The Clone Wars makes you care about the clones.
Yeah, exactly.
With the two movies, you don't care. At all.
you don't care
At
at all.
all, no.
They're just
Yeah,
just there.
the clones were just like, oh, that's just people like helping the Jedi fighting.
And they have like a brotherhood.
Yeah.
Because they are
Yeah.
technically, they have the same DNA. There's like something else there. They're individuals, but they have the same DNA. So like, our brothers.
Yeah, especially
yeah, like with the
Yeah.
brothers, like all of them call each other brothers.
And like when they had that traitor that Rex and Cody were trying to figure out who he was, and there was like, oh no, he's one of us. And it was just more sad that way.
Yeah, and like the whole squad was like so like broken that one of their own brothers would like actually betray them and all that, you know. And with also the not the Clone Wars, the prequels, when you first see them on Camino, they all look exactly alike. But when you see them in the Clone Wars, they don't really all look alike. Like, I mean, yeah, they all have the same face or whatever, but some are bald, some have different haircuts, some have beards, you know, some have tattoos on them. Like, it brings another level of individuality into them.
Yeah.
Which is, I really like that.
I wonder what happens. You know that guy we were talking about who has a wife and a kid that was separated? What happens when Order 66 is executed and his brain switches?
I don't know.
What does he do?
I think he has to hear the order.
Yeah, is that how it works?
I think.
Do they
physically have to hear those words spoke?
Do you?
I don't know.
I feel like it's like a
They might
switch
find out
or
later in the
something.
season.
Yeah, we're probably gonna. Yeah, they'll probably explain that a bit.
Okay, like this has something to do with this. I saw this comic, like a Vader comic, and this was like dates back like way after all the Clone Wars and stuff. I know it's a little off topic, but there was a scene where Darth Vader was like, oh my gosh, I forgot what planet it was, but there was a Jedi that was there, and Lord Vader was bringing his Death Trooper squad with him. And you know how they don't have the communication, just go like all the time. But when the Jedi were like confronted by Lord Vader and the Death Squad, he lifted all the helmets off the Death Trooper, and they're all clone troopers, which was really cool. And then he pulled the execute Order 66, and all those clone troopers shot Vader, which was super cool. Like,
Is it canon?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, like it's like a Lord Vader comic.
Is that the newer one?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So it's honestly, I think that's really cool. How anyone could just say execute Order 66, and like they would just be commanded right there.
No, yeah, that's why I always thought. I always thought it was you. Once you heard it, you would.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was like from a higher up, but it could just be from anyone saying the command to really trigger whatever the chip's going on in there. Yeah, I thought that was just really cool. Yeah, can just be anyone executing the order.
No, yeah, that'd be kind of wild though if that clone with the family like hears about all that.
Yeah.
Like what? These clones are killing all these Jedis are dead. What the heck's going on? Yeah.
Because I was thinking if it's like something they switch in their brain, like what if he's just like they're all just sitting around eating dinner and he just gets up from the table and leaves, just flies away in a ship.
I would also
Honey,
think,
no.
I've never thought about that. What are you doing?
I would also just think they would just be like, I hate Jedi now. Oh, I hate Jedi.
I don't know why, but suddenly
I want to shoot.
I just have such hatred for the Jedi.
I just want to shoot one in the back of the head for some reason.
No, yeah,
That urge, you know.
That Papa Pal's giving me the command.
When Tup started to have the malfunction with his chip and he killed the other Jedi, I love how the interactions, not interaction necessarily, but how he acts with it. I don't know if other clones acted like that, but because we've never seen it from that perspective, all we've seen is Cody go, oh yeah, okay, kill that guy, kill Obi-Wan, in episode 3. Yeah. But we see him going like, oh, follow orders, and he's like, oh gosh, and he goes up there and he's like all hazed. He's like, if you were like to do this, he probably wouldn't see you because all he can think about is killing the Jedi. And like I think that's really cool to see. And when they had him like strapped to the chair and stuff, they had to like sedate him because he was like, gotta follow orders or whatever. But then also when the chip got removed and Tup died, he was like, oh, you guys, he was like, that nightmare we all have. It's over now or whatever. So it's like
they all have these nightmares.
They all have this like same nightmare. And I think what it's referring to is Order 66. I think they're having the nightmare of Order 66, and he's like, it's over now because as soon as the chip gets out, and then he dies.
It's over.
And 5 says the same thing when he dies. He talks about that nightmare a little bit. It's like, dude,
it's crazy, bro. Oh,
God.
crazy.
Like
The lore of Star
visions.
Wars.
The lore, dude.
Oh my
That's what makes Star Wars so good is the lore.
Yeah, the lore is just crazy.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Love this universe.
Gosh. Yeah.
Man.
What time are we at right now?
We are at 1 hour and 3 minutes.
Oh, we're doing way better than I thought we were.
Awesome.
I thought we were way longer than that. That's
Four
good.
of us on this couch. I'm really sweaty. It's like hot over here.
Yeah.
Eating a sweat right
No,
here.
yeah,
guys. I know you guys can't see her if you're not watching right now, but yeah, 4 of us on this couch right now really
on the
takes
same
a toll
couch.
on your sweat.
Yeah, no, we we have to turn the heat off every time we
Yeah,
record
because it makes noise.
because
We
it
don't
makes
want
noise.
That background.
So
Oh,
yeah,
it
having the
does make
heat off
noise.
right now is literally doing nothing.
We are the heaters.
yeah, we are the heaters.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about clone troopers?
different battalions and like legions and
Mhm,
stuff.
yeah.
That's cool to see because you got the 501st, the 212th Obi-Wan's,
212.
Obi-Wan's 212.
the 104th, the Wolf Pack.
Yeah, 104th, I think.
Which I like. That's cool because that's Plo Koon's battalion or division or whatever they're called. And then on their LAATs, the gunships, it says Plo's Bros.
Close, bros.
Close Bros.
Plo's Bros.
Do you remember that Ayla Secura squad? They had like green color.
They were the 300 and
Because I like that squad.
they were yellow.
Oh, I thought they were green.
Yeah, that was Commander Bly. And,
That was
Yeah, Commander Bly, that's what his name was.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
And then like ARC troopers and stuff.
Our
Yeah.
troopers,
Commandos.
Yes.
There's. It's just so
Like the
good.
gunners,
Just all these
snipers.
rankings of like different clones and
Yeah.
all that, and just different phases and not even just phases, different styles of armor and all that. And that's another cool thing I like with the clones is, yeah, they all still have to have this kind of uniform look to them, but they're allowed to kind of customize themselves.
Yeah.
Like how Fives had the hand print on them or whatever.
Yeah.
No, that's that always confused me because I thought Fives like the handprint, but Fives is his numbers like CT5555 or something.
Yeah.
Echo has the
Was it Echo?
handprint. Yeah, I remember always being confused by that because
Yeah.
Fives has the tattoo of the 5 and Echo was just completely
exactly.
plain.
5,
And then
that's
Right.
right.
Does have the tattoo.
yeah,
Okay.
Or you have like that, or you have Jesse, the guy that has the giant tattoo of the
Galactic Republic.
Galactic Republic logo on him.
Yeah.
Talk
He
about
has that.
commitment.
He has that on his helmet too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like how they still have to have this uniform look, but they're still allowed to have this like customization. I
Yeah.
guess.
their individual look.
Yeah. To it. Mm-hmm.
Stormtroopers don't. They're
No.
boring.
And they're just humans. They're just boring, regular
they're
people.
boring.
They're boring.
Yeah,
Well,
Empire's
it was
boring.
for a period of time until they died. Were stormtroopers just clones?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were.
At
Yeah.
first?
At first they were.
But they aged twice as fast, so they didn't
Oh,
last
yeah.
very
Yeah, they
long.
aged twice as fast. It was more expensive. And Palpatine was just like, it's just better, just getting humans than clones. And
Do they really age twice as fast?
yeah, they do.
Yeah,
They
the
age twice as
reason
fast.
Boba, we were watching episode 2 the other day,
Uh-huh.
and he was like, "Yeah, the clones age extra fast or whatever." But the one that, and he's like, "Who are they cloned by?" And it was like a bounty hunter named Jango Fett, and they were talking about Boba, and he's like, "Yeah, but Boba is an exact copy that's not modified."
Yeah.
So
Unaltered.
that's why he doesn't grow.
Which is like if Boba was just born regular, he's just gonna be growing
I-
up regular.
For some reason, I thought they grew twice as fast until they got to a certain point, and then it stopped.
I
and
think
slowed
they
down.
always
I think
grow
it's just always twice as
twice as
fast.
fast.
Yeah,
Really. That's kind of
because like in Rebels,
kind of
Rex looks really old. Like
because I was gonna say
in Rebels, he
Rex-
does.
I don't want to say anything because I don't. Have you seen Rebels?
No,
Have you, and you haven't seen Rebels either, so I don't really want
That's
to
like
say
a little
anything.
glimpse, yeah.
I don't.
Like,
I don't
You
care.
know he's in
I'll
it.
watch it
Yeah.
eventually,
He
but I
survives
just
through it.
Yeah,
I don't want to say
you
anything
want me to
else.
say it?
yeah.
I mean, it's canon that Rex was on the Battle of Endor.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
if they age that fast, that seems kind of wild. How would he
He's
be
walking around on
Yeah,
his cane.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No, but yeah, it's canon that he
How
was on
old
the
he
Battle
would
of
be.
Endor.
We don't know how fast they age. I guess
That's true. I just kind of thought of it. They aged fast until they got to a certain point, and then it was like, okay,
normal. now.
normal after that, or something like that. I don't know.
That makes sense.
Maybe after
Yeah.
they turn old, so they can't fight, so they just grow old, I guess,
Yeah.
at a normal pace. That would suck. Just like growing really fast in your youth, and then you just start aging really slowly the older you get. I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
slows down a lot.
It's
after
like
that.
you turn 20 in like 10 years, but then once you're like 60, you're 60, and then
You're
61,
60 for, like,
62,
40
60 Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
I would. Poor clones.
Next topic of discussion. What are we talking about?
Why we love the Clone Wars? How we got into the Clone Wars? Why we love it? Just stuff like
Oh
that.
boy.
Gosh. Getting into
No,
this.
let's do this question a little bit differently. Let's start with either Jordan or Garrison. Work out.
I would like to start.
All right, you start.
The Clone Wars is very, very dear to my heart.
Yeah.
I have watched through this series more than anything I've ever watched before. I'm not a person to just watch through series again. Like, I have to really like it. And the Clone Wars is one of those. I watched it when it first came out on TV, watched it when it came out on Netflix, then watched it when it came out on Netflix with the new season, now watching it on Disney Plus again. And when it first came out, I would, every Friday on Cartoon Network, I think it was like 9 p.m., I'd always make sure I was home to watch it. Like, me and my friend would get together, and we'd be like, guys, it's time for Star Wars. And then the next morning, I would never miss it, but like, if somehow I did happen to miss it, then they aired it Saturday morning at 10 a.m. So you'd wake up and you'd watch it again. And then after that, they had Star Wars The Clone Wars Adventures, I think it was called. It was a MMO on the computer, and I had a membership. And after the next morning, after they aired it the second time, they would release new content for the game.
Wow.
So every single week you had no, they have Five's armor you can get, and then you can like wear his armor and stuff.
That's so cool.
It was
That's
a
really
lifestyle, man.
EA
It
would
was
never.
awesome.
Yeah, EA does not think of that little stuff.
Yeah,
no.
EA would never.
EA would be like, you want microtransactions, you say?
I'm sad to say the servers for that game were shut off a couple of years ago. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Quite
Rip.
sad.
Gone but not forgotten.
Gone but
Never
not
forgotten.
forgotten.
Wasn't really that good of a game, but when you're really young, it really doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Or your childhood, yeah.
As long as it's Star Wars, who cares?
I'm just gonna keep my rose-colored glasses on forever.
All right, what about you, Garrison?
What about me? Well, same thing what Jordan described. Like, I was able to watch it over and over again. Like, it didn't matter how many times I did. It's like The Office, Every time I watch it, there's always like a little thing that you never see. Like, in the background of like shows, you never notice like the little things.
Yeah.
But yeah, growing up with it when it first came out, I remember like I did the same thing. Like if I always watched it at 9 p.m. on Fridays, Saturdays if I missed it at all. But like me and my dad would especially watch because he's also a big Star Wars fan. Gary Call.
Gary Call.
Gary
Shout
Call.
out.
Shout out
Shout out
to
to Mr. G.
shout out to my dad.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's really into the show too. He's
Oh,
really
really?
into Mandalore. Yeah, he's actually really into
Oh, wow.
Mandalore too.
Why did I not know this?
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I feel like I should know this.
Honestly,
That
I didn't
doesn't
know this
surprise
either.
me though.
Does
Gary
your-
would definitely be
does,
into that.
Does Gary want to be on the podcast?
Well, we have to have Gary
Yeah.
on the
Hey,
podcast.
when
now.
we're back home in summer, we're getting Gary
There's
on
no
the
discussion.
podcast. Yeah.
Gary is on the
Yeah,
podcast.
we're getting Gary.
He actually says to you guys like hello.
We're,
like, one of you guys
we're
how
if you're watching this, Mr. Call, we're getting you on the podcast.
you're coming
Coming
One
on,
way-
Dad.
One way or another.
We're pointing at
Yeah.
the camera.
We're
right now.
getting on this
We're
podcast.
getting you on. Getting on. All right.
Okay.
Gary calls a staple in our lives, especially Garrison because
Well, yeah, I lived with
That's
the guy.
his father.
Lived with the guy for just 20 years. Yeah.
great.
Well, yeah.
He was the principal of our high school.
Yeah. Context reasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a principal for us.
Like a second father to me, but not really at all.
I think a second father, but not really.
But yeah, like I really can't really add anything on top of I was really committed to watching every single week of that show, and I would still rewatch it this day and just notice all like the little details I missed from each episode. Really just look into the lore. Been like watching YouTube too. Been like it just adds on and adds on to all these different stuff that goes on. Oh, it's so good. The universe is so expanded that like we just like only show like the Clone Wars and like specific characters, never look at like other arcs, which is why like as I'm like reading comic and stuff, I read like other different areas of the galaxy, and I think it's really cool how like it actually coordinates to the story. I don't know, just the whole universe, the whole Clone Wars, so good, so good,
All of it.
all of it basically.
All right, Kevin.
I don't remember exactly how I got into it. The only thing, my earliest memories with Clone Wars is you coming over and
Yeah.
making frozen pizza and watching it every Friday night. That's honestly, that's all I can really remember.
Well, why do you love the Clone Wars?
Why do I love the Clone Wars?
Yeah.
Because it does what Star Wars can't do in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
It builds the world more. It develops the characters more. Tells all these different stories that don't get told in the movies that help you understand the movies better. And it's just entertaining.
Yeah.
It's good content, good Star Wars media. I mean, some of the best stuff comes from the Clone Wars, and it's so good.
Yeah.
George Lucas, man. George Lucas.
And Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni
George
was the
and
main
Dave.
one
Yeah.
for the Clone Wars.
And I've really tried to get into the Rebels multiple times, but I just like my expectations are on the level of the Clone Wars, and it's just too childish for me. Like it's not that it's a childish show; it's just that it's like I don't want to be like I need violence, but like there's not as much darkness. At least in the first season, I just couldn't get into it. And I like about in the Clone Wars, they're not afraid to
tap
yeah,
that.
they don't veer away from topics because they're too dark.
No, with Rebels, I've seen Rebels. It was really hard for me to get into Rebels. I agree with you, especially once you get into later season, it gets a little bit better. But yeah, it's just really kiddie though. Well, even the beginning, it took. I don't even remember multiple episodes for them to actually kill a stormtrooper, and it wasn't even.
Yeah.
It was like a TIE fighter pilot or something.
It wasn't even.
It was like, dude, come on.
Well, we're not the age demographic for when Rebels came out. That's a big reason because we were for the Clone Wars, and then.
But I don't know. But like they don't kill like stormtroopers at all at the beginning whatsoever. You can still see them moving around. They just kind of beat them up or like get shot in the shoulder, and they're like, oh. It's just it was I agree. It's hard to get into though. But is that it, Kevin? Yeah. I mean I agree with like all you guys like why I love the Star Wars, the Clone Wars. Like the lore is just so good. There's so much you learn from this. You see so many people and different stories and their perspectives. It's not Star Wars is so black and white. The Clone Wars isn't though. The Clone Wars is more okay. Everything isn't always black and white. There's good guys on both sides, stuff like that. And I think it actually says that in one of the crawls. I think it says that in episode 3, the crawl for episode 3 or something like that. But yeah, I just love the lore of it so much, and the stories are just so good. And one thing I love about it so much too is like if you're just eating dinner, you can just throw an episode on real quick. It's a like 20-minute episode, and it's just so nice to sit and watch. I mean, I have so many memories of the Clone Wars too. Like going over to your house and watching it. Like I remember watching stuff with you too, Jordan. I remember we
would play make believe all the time in Star Wars.
Exactly. I remember being in 5th grade and on the playground, and there was one of those play structures, and we would pretend we were clone troopers in a training simulator, and our ship was blowing up. And we were like, "Oh, crap!" I remember it was like all. It was winter time, so we had all of our winter gear on and stuff. It was like, oh man, it's gonna blow, like going down the slide as an escape pod, and doing all these stupid things. But yeah, we used to play.
The show made me want to be a clone trooper.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be a clone so bad.
Have you guys ever, as a kid, like stacked on each other and just like spun both your lightsabers and just said General Kenobi? Just pretending to be Grievous?
I've never seen that, but I've seen a lot of people do that recently.
Yeah,
though.
Yeah, that's a new thing.
Yeah.
I like that, just stacking.
Garrison? Oh, you knocked over the B1 battle droid.
How could you? That was probably so loud too.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have your earbuds anymore?
I took them out.
Yeah. I mean, just
we are being really loud, so it kind of like hurt my ears. So I didn't want.
It was hurting Kevin's ears, so we can just forget about it, and whoever listens to this just.
Turn your volume down.
Jordan's good. Dude, these really are hard to stand up. You really got to put that effort
Careful with my battle droid, man. That's my favorite one.
It's his favorite one.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's I want to go officially on the record. We have a new favorite Star Wars character. It's not Ben Solo anymore. It's the battle droid that says "Excuse me" to Obi-Wan in Episode 3.
Excuse me.
It says "You're welcome."
You're welcome.
Grievous.
Yeah, he gets sassy with Grievous, man.
Grievous himself, dude. He could smack him in the head and he'd die. He does not. Yeah.
That's another thing I really love about the Clone Wars is the droids.
Oh yeah.
I saw this video a little while ago. It was just a clip of droids being like stupid or whatever. And it's like, wow. And like, I think the caption was like, the clip that you'd never know you needed, or like droids you never know you need. I'm like, wow, yeah, like I needed to watch that. I never think I would
One
need
of my
that.
favorite droid lines is, I forget what he says, but it's like, those are old models, not us. We're independent thinkers. And then they all just go, Roger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's so many good droid moments.
Yeah,
they're funny, you know. They don't feel forced either.
Yeah, my favorite droid moment when it was in Rylock when there's a droid like cleaning the pens of the animals before they he's like, this is probably the worst job in the droid army. And then Obi-Wan's carrying the Rylock child and he force pushes the button on the door and just traps the droid. And he's like, oh no. That was like the first time they spared a droid.
Yeah,
like
that was funny.
they never spare droids because they're just droids. That's so funny. Obi-Wan's just like, yeah, I was just gonna trap this droid in the pen for a while.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Another reason
droids are the best.
I love the Clone Wars. It's because the voice acting is so good.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude,
Oh my
the
God.
clones have a great voice actor. Like
Attention,
Anakin
Sauron.
and Obi-Wan. I remember when I watched the first episode and I was like, but these aren't the real guys. Like, these aren't the real voice actors. But no, like, they turned out to be like so good. For
I
their
like how they got
characters.
them all for Battlefront too.
Yeah, I'm
And
so
they
happy
got
with that.
So much better.
Oh,
The
yeah.
droid voices are even better than in the movie. In the movies,
Yeah.
they're super high pitched and like weird.
No, yeah, they're
No, in
weird
episodes
the
1
movies.
and 2, they're lower and
Are they?
more serious.
Oh.
They sounded like this.
Episode
Water.
3, they get more
Okay.
high pitched and
Yeah. Did you guys like their voice in episodes 1 through 2 or the Clone Wars? I don't.
I'm fine with
care.
both.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
care.
I probably,
each.
yeah,
I don't think I have a preference.
Because like Clone
I
Wars,
probably prefer Clone Wars as
Well,
well,
if they're gonna be funny, then the higher pitched voice is better. But
Oh,
if
yeah.
they're like serious, then
no, one thing,
Feed me.
like, yeah, I love the voice acting. It's so good. One thing that bugs me though is how much they switch Emperor Palpatine's voice actor.
Yeah.
That drives me nuts. I don't understand why they do it,
Can't get one
but
guy.
it drives me nuts. They also changed Jar Jar's quite a few times too. Because one time, like the first couple of times you see him, it kind of sounds like Jar Jar. But then they have this other guy come in and he has this way dark, not darker, deeper voice, and it's like, this does not sound like Jar Jar at all. So yeah, that does kind of bug. But everybody else is fine.
Jar Jar grew up.
Yeah.
It's just the Emperor and Jar Jar that can bug me. But yeah, and talking about like going back to like loving the Clone Wars, is I remember going to see. Did you guys see the Clone Wars movie in the theater?
Yeah.
I can't
Yes.
remember.
Yeah,
Oh,
both did.
yes.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. I saw it opening weekend with I think it was some of my family. Like I remember my aunts and uncles, I think maybe like my dad or something. But I remember sitting down. The movie just starts and I was like, oh, I gotta pee. And so I had somebody had to take me because that came out in what, 2007?
Yeah, we were like 7 or
8
babies.
or something. So
We were
yeah, I was like
babies.
8 years old. So someone had to come take me. But I just remember sitting back down and there was this kid behind me that kept kicking my chair. And we were in the very front row too because we got there late and so like we were all like this and some kid's kicking my chair and it got to the point where my uncle had to turn around and be like, dude, stop.
He was talking a lot of crap for somebody in wrist rocket range.
I don't remember watching the movie at all. I just remember like having to pee right away and then that kid kicking my chair the whole time. But
Dude, how could you forget that movie? It's when Obi-Wan like surrendered to the guy and he's like, let's talk negotiations.
that's another one thing I want to talk about with the Clone Wars is when you think about the Clone Wars talked about people, you don't think about the movie
No,
at all.
It's
It's just nope.
No.
Because it doesn't have a lasting impression and it wasn't that great. Like I kind of liked how they had the whole youngling hut baby. What I don't.
Young
What the
Jabba.
heck was it called?
Baby hut guy.
I don't.
Young
I know they
Baby
they, they,
Jabba.
Baby
they-
Jabba.
They said something like that, but I don't know. I kind of liked it, but
Didn't hit as hard as Baby Yoda.
yeah. But it just like what happens with it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
We see it in like
his
one or
baby.
one other episode or two other episodes in the Clone Wars, but it's like, okay, where does this
Yeah,
go?
because- yeah.
he either gets murked as a child or they grow up really fast.
Yeah.
'Cause,
No. Huts like survive or they live for such a long
Yeah.
time. Like their lifespan is like exponential. Like they survive for so long. So yeah, either that baby died, kidnapped, or like they just forgot about a child that
Yeah.
Jabba had. Because in the originals, he's just not there.
No, yeah,
Because like you
exactly.
think like, oh, Jabba would have a kid,
Yeah,
out there somewhere. No, like he just doesn't. He's just not there after
that movie just does not do a service to the series.
No, yeah, it really doesn't. And that's one thing that I kind of like struggle with. Is like I was talking to my dad about him watching the Clone Wars and like the movie, and him watching all the movies before Rise of Skywalker came out, and he's like, and then I watched the Clone Wars when I watched all the movies, and he was, should I watch the Clone Wars? And it's such, because he's never seen the Clone Wars show either, and it's just such a struggle. Like, okay, do you watch it? But if you haven't seen the show, and if you watch the movie, that might deteriorate you from watching the show. But the show's really good. But at the same time, the movie brings in, like, if you go straight into the show, you probably can, but the movie brings in, oh, we have Ahsoka now, and, like, Captain Rex, and introduce all these characters. So it's kind of like...
I would just say, like, if you're not going to watch the show, just don't even watch the movie.
Honestly,
the movie's not really that good.
If you're not putting the time in for Clone Wars, don't even, like, for the other movies,
Yeah.
If there's anybody that's listening that hasn't seen the Clone Wars that wants to, on Disney Plus, there's a playlist. It's 20 essential Clone Wars episodes.
And I couldn't find... Is it on there?
It's on the main page of Disney Plus. You don't click on Star Wars. You just
okay, because I couldn't find it. I tried to find it
a little bit. Some of the episodes I think should be on there that aren't. Like, I don't think any of the Umbara episodes are on there. But that's a good way for somebody to just get in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Or those are probably like essential, like canon of episodes.
Lore, yeah,
or you can even just Google the best Clone Wars episodes. And, you know, that's what I did for the Twilight Zone, because I haven't seen all the Twilight Zone. I started out with the best episodes. And,
I didn't even realize until I was searching to figure out what my favorite season was. I was like searching the seasons, and it popped up like all the episodes in chronological order. I didn't even realize this whole series isn't in chronological order.
We didn't even bring that up.
I was going to talk about that.
They don't. The Clone Wars doesn't present itself
time jumps all over
chronologically.
the place.
So it can be really confusing if you don't know that.
Yeah, because like one of the first episodes is the Rookies episode, but then in like season 2, then you go to Domino Squad, which was their training before the Rookies. So yeah,
there's a lot of flashback episodes that go on.
It jumps all over the place. So you kind of have to
just pay attention.
All right, so this I kind of just thought about this. Did you guys ever watch the original Clone Wars show? It came out in like 2003 or something.
I thought they were
Wasn't it a movie?
There were 2 movies. I saw the second one.
There were movies?
Movies.
Why do I feel like they were shows too?
I feel like there were shows
Dude,
too.
I don't remember the show. I remember there were 2 movies.
I was really young though. I think that was 2002.
It was 2002.
I just remember.
Look it up real quick.
Shirtless Anakin with his tattoos.
Yeah,
that's all I remember.
He had tattoos.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Anakin has tattoos.
Yeah, he's got like those like blue tattoo thing going on because of some like alien species. But the only reason why I brought it up is just how drastically different that show is compared to what the Clone Wars is now. Dude. And I think it's just funny how they had that show and they were like, oh, this didn't work very well, or movies, or whatever you're going to find out. They had them like, oh, this didn't work out really well. Let's try it again in a different way. But it's so drastically different. Everything is so intense and just in your face.
Action.
It's like Samurai Jack style.
No, it was. The guy who directed that movie was the director for Samurai Jack, which is just really cool,
I guess it was a series.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. But there were movies, too. There were movies.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember.
I gotta watch those though. Is it good?
Yeah, I've watched them.
They're good.
I thought they were good. Yeah, there's not a lot. I'm pretty sure, right?
I don't think so. I think it was a limited series.
Yeah,
both series too.
Yeah, because that's the one where you have Obi-Wan in the clone trooper armor.
Yeah,
they have a Black Series figure of that.
And you have there's a couple memorable moments in that. There's like you might have like seen clips from it, like Mace Windu destroying a bunch of battle droids or something.
Yeah, when Grievous was introduced the first time, dude, he looked so menacing in the cartoon.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how tall he was. He looked like he was like 8 or 9 feet. When we're in that Jedi, I call him Jedi Shaggy, Padawan Shaggy, because he looked like Shaggy. He was like, he just like screams and runs there. He's like, ah, and then Keanu Mundi was there. He's like, Padawan, no. And then Grievous just literally slams on top of him. And he gets up and he's like this tower figure. And he's like, you're all dead, Jedi. Like, his voice was completely different. Like, dude, he was, oh my God, Grievous is more terrifying.
Grievous's lair.
Oh,
Yeah.
Grievous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
I forgot
arc.
about
That
that.
arc
That's a
too.
good one.
Kid
That's a
Fisto.
single episode, not an arc.
Kid Fisto's Padawan dying to Grievous.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you guys ever have time to watch those first Clone Wars little episodes in movie or whatever, I'd
They're good
recommend
arcs.
it honestly.
They're good.
Because
They're good.
I've seen them like before, but because there's not that many, and honestly, I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't think it's canon though, but
Thanks, Disney.
I don't know.
I don't think it is. I think only the Clone Wars on Disney Plus is canon.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine the other one being canon. That'd be a little maybe confusing.
A little
Well,
bit.
Anakin doesn't have tattoos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it doesn't
true.
have giant blue tats. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's not have any dead air here. What are we talking about next?
The Bad Batch.
Yeah,
Bad.
you guys
Okay.
want to go straight into
We can talk
the
about
episode?
Let's do
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Yeah, spoiler time. First episode of The Bad Batch of Season 7
Yep.
of Clone Wars.
So it just came out yesterday.
We didn't watch it until today because we were
'Cause-
waiting for these kids to get here.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was so hard. I honestly really had to fight myself to watch the wait until you guys got here.
Really?
No, I was so close. I was like, I need to watch it.
I was busy all day yesterday, so I had no problem.
Oh, there was
not
so much
watching
time
it.
we could have watched it. Like, dude, I could. Nah, but I waited because I wanted to watch it with you guys first. So that's fun. All right, but yeah, let's talk about it and all that stuff.
The animation was very nice.
It went
It
up
had,
so
it had a
much.
little bit of a different look. I liked it.
Anakin's got longer hair.
Anakin
Yeah,
looks
honestly, it didn't look
cooler.
as bad as I thought. I mean, we
Yeah,
only saw
I didn't
Anakin
think
for a
it-
little bit, a
He
couple
looks
seconds.
good. Anakin
But
looks good.
in the trailers, it could look kind of weird.
Looks like he's about to do some things to some younglings.
Yeah, he does look
getting
like he's
ready.
about to youngling on.
Master Skywalker.
But
Really good action sequences in this one.
Oh, yeah.
oh my gosh,
Really
Holy
well.
crap.
that was crazy.
There was the one long take of them busting into the control room or whatever.
that
was a
outpost.
good shot.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
camera not cutting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I think
That
there was a
pan
couple
shot
scenes
that
where
whole time.
the camera didn't cut at all. It was just a constant.
Yeah.
It was one shot.
Camera.
One shot the whole time, yeah.
Yeah, that
As
was
a
really
film
nice.
major, I appreciate that.
You gotta advertise that film major as much
Every
as you can.
podcast, I find a way to bring up that I'm a film major, and I appreciate it.
When we first saw the Bad Batch, at first I was like, okay, these guys seem like a little bit corny. I'm not sure how I feel about them. They seem very like cliche, like, yeah, we're the cool, super intense guys. But
Yeah.
actually, by the end of the episode, I really liked them. I thought they were super cool.
Yeah.
So, I
Go
always think we just go over the Bad Batch, like who they are and stuff.
yeah.
Okay,
Let's go
so
for each of the
there's
characters.
Hunter. He's kind
kinda
of
like
your
the
average
leader.
Joe.
Yeah. I'd say it's kind of like the leader.
He's
Yeah.
Leonardo.
He's the
He looks like Rambo.
The TMNT.
He's Leonardo.
He's
he's
Leonardo,
the
yeah.
Rambo guy. He's got the bandana.
Yeah, Rambo, yeah.
What was his thing? He can like
He's got the
feel-
knife.
He was able to
He, like-
track.
Yeah, he was
Like-
like a good tracker. You could like
He
feel
has like
the
a heightened sense.
yeah, heightened
Yeah,
senses. He
like
could feel
really
like the
big
electromagnetic fields in the planet or whatever.
So, like-
it's basically instead of using hollow maps, he could just
He's more
use his
accurate
head-
than
use his
hollow
head.
maps. Yeah, he's more
He's
accurate.
never wrong.
Yeah,
He's
they
never
even
wrong.
said he's never. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Squad said he's never wrong.
And then we have Tech, as the name implies, the tech guy,
Yeah, he's the smart guy,
the hacker.
which I mentioned in the last, just the YouTube episode last week. He even has like the glasses, and he's like the smart kind of
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
He even had-
like
yeah,
the
he has
nerd or
glasses.
whatever.
Yeah.
And even when he takes
He's
his helmet off,
Donatello.
he still has it. Yeah, he's like the Donatello.
Double shades.
Then there's Crosshair, right? The
Yeah,
sniper.
Crosshair was the sniper.
He looks really cool
Yeah,
with his
he-
scope on his
Yeah.
eye. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about while we were watching it. How his helmet, like, yeah, one he's got like the kind of scope on his eye. Oh yeah,
I think that's
under
Tannen.
his helmet too.
Yeah.
He's got that, and on his helmet he has a scope, and his helmet visor is moved up a little bit so it goes in perfectly.
This
with
guy's
the sniper's
all about
gun.
his scopes, dude.
Yeah, because he's
Like,
a sniper.
Yeah, all about his
Yeah, because
scopes.
Hunter, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
he used like a pistol and this like crazy knife.
Dude, that night, he's my favorite one.
Yeah, that knife was crazy.
Yeah.
because he would like hit stuff and then it would like
It'd
shock
zap 'em.
them. Yeah,
it
that
looked
was
like
insane.
the Dark Blade, but
Yeah, at first
it's
I
just-
thought he was taking out a
Vibro
blade. Yeah,
Yeah.
but then it wasn't. I was kind of thinking, but and then Tech. I think he just kind of used
He,
normal
ju- he, had,
blaster.
he had 2 commando pistols.
Is that what he had?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought there was
Yeah,
someone
like
with
two
two
commando
pistols.
Rex.
Yeah, and then Crosshairs clearly had the sniper,
Mm-hmm.
and then What was the last guy's name?
I don't remember his name.
I can't remember his name.
Razor.
The dummy guy.
The dumb,
Yeah.
the strong guy.
The heavy.
yeah, the
he's
heavy.
big
We're really
brute
calling him
guy.
the heavy. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
weapon did he have?
Hey,
He just had a
literally, you have your assault.
yeah.
You have your heavy. You have your officer, and you have your specialist.
Oh my god, that's
It's literally Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
Battlefront 2 squad. Yeah.
all of them had super cool armor though, as clones
Oh
always
yeah.
do.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, their armor was dope. Yeah, and yeah, that was one thing with like the brute guy that was kind of funny is he's super strong.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Commander Cody gets trapped under a gunship. He literally goes and
lifts the
pushes
whole
the
thing.
gunship over, which is
heck,
crazy. It's like the Hulk. But I think it's funny that he's like super strong, but he's really dumb.
Yeah.
Like, cause
Yeah,
at one
that's the
part
thing
he
about
picks
him.
up a droid's head and he's like, "Hey, look, it likes you." You know,
Otherwise, he'd
like
be too overpowered.
likes you.
yeah, he'd be too overpowered if he had the brains and the broad. You know.
Yeah.
Now, is there a clone that's the combination of all four of them?
That's
the
the real
ultimate
question.
agent.
The
The
ultimate,
ultimate agent.
yeah.
Jeez. He'd be an expensive clone. That's all I have to say.
I like how they introduced the Bad Batch. How they
Mm-hmm.
were like, all the droids, they know our strategies because we keep using them and they keep figuring out ways to counter them. So we need to bring in someone that is unorthodox and they do
Exactly,
things
yeah.
crazy, you know. I like that introduction.
And they fly their ship in and almost take out a bunch
Oh
of guys.
yeah, I wasn't expecting because like there was a lot of
Coming-
things from the trailer that were in
Almost
the Bad
crushes
Batch
a
trailer
guy
that
in a
was in this
paramedics.
episode,
Yeah.
and like I was not expect because that part does happen in the trailer where like the ship flies in, but not that where they're like almost running people over on the landing pad. Like that was kind of okay. This is crazy. But no, yeah, that big brute guy. At first, I was like, okay, this guy's a little over the top and stuff, but he's kind of funny though.
He's
funny, yeah.
Towards the
Yeah.
end, I like
none
all
of those
them. I
guys-
had the same feeling as you.
Yeah. Mhm.
Jordan.
Like all these guys have like specific features about them. That's what's cool about them.
Mm-hmm.
Like this Bad Batch is like this SEAL Team 6 basically. That's what our like it's what our like a special operation
Mm-hmm.
forces are today, which is like but these guys just have personalities of their own, like the brawns, the brain, smart and brawn, but like survival instincts. Like
I'm really
I like
glad
that.
they turned out to be cool though, because yeah, like I said at the beginning of it, I was like, oh, this is like some A-Team ripoff.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah.
a classic cliche, like you got this guy and this guy, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
One thing I did like about Crosshair though is I got really Cad Bane vibes when he first showed him when he took his helmet off.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
very like
Toothpick in his
serpent-like.
mouth and he like
Yeah.
wasn't talking, you know.
He's
Yeah, like, kinda
very
messing up.
serious.
Very serious,
Business.
yeah.
Yeah, no funny business.
Yeah, that's one other thing that I really liked about this episode too is I don't know if you guys noticed, but they take their helmets off a lot.
oh yeah,
They have their
They
helmets
take
off,
them off
a lot of
yeah.
the episode, especially Rex.
Yeah.
He constantly was taking his helmet off, which I think is kind of crazy.
I feel like Rex shouldn't have his helmet because he just always has it off half the time.
Yeah.
Even when he's fighting, I always see him like just like taking off or like throwing it off the side.
Man, when Rex was sitting in his bunker looking at that picture,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was legit looking at a
his dead
picture
friends.
of
got
him.
me
Who
almost
was it? It was
crying.
him, Commander Coney,
Fives and Echo.
Five and
Fives and
Echo.
Echo,
Yeah.
And
His
and-
boys.
Yeah,
His
and he even
boys,
said
dude.
something about Fives and Echo and Heavy before that.
Aw.
And it's like, dude, that's so sad.
Dude, Rex is it's gonna be a tough
Dude,
season.
I
for
wasn't
Captain
expecting
Rex.
that already. I knew it was gonna be bad with Rex. I knew I was gonna see him like get punched and all that, and then already right off the bat, it's
Right
like
off the bat.
all my friends dying. It's like, dude,
It's
no.
like, dude, I'm about to
and then,
cry.
and then we learned that Echo's like still alive,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
But working for the Seppies.
But okay,
he's
but
captured.
is he though?
But-
Like,
Or is he
is he
captured?
alive in the sense? Is he still like a clone trooper? You know, or like I don't know, dude.
Or are they
Yeah.
harvesting?
or like
his
harvesting his
brain?
head? Yeah, that's what I was kind
Yeah.
of thinking.
I don't know, man.
I don't
We're
know.
gonna have to
Oh
find
my
out.
gosh.
On the
Yeah,
next
this is gonna be
episode.
whack.
Yeah, no, because for you guys that don't know, in that episode, the person that was figuring out I was gonna say rebels, the clones' strategies and stuff, they were like, Rex was like, this seems really familiar to.
Yeah, like we went over this with
Echoes.
Echo.
Yeah, we've gone over this. These are strategies that me and Echo would have, and Rex kind of had that feeling going in, and then they found out that wait, Echo is kind of behind this in some way. And he's like, wait, Echo's alive, which is like really crazy. Which I was not expecting them to go in that direction whatsoever. That threw me for a loop. I mean, in the beginning of the episode when they started talking about it, I was kind of like, oh, okay, well, if they're talking about Echo, like he's probably alive. But I just in general, I wasn't expecting them to go in that kind of direction.
It took a big turn, and
Yeah,
honestly, I like this.
No,
arc
yeah,
where
I
it's
like.
going.
Yeah, that was a good episode to
first
get
episode.
into.
good
Yeah.
first
Yeah,
episode.
it was like all combat too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
it
the
was
action was
great.
so good.
Oh,
I want
it
to
was
see
so
more.
good.
I'm excited.
It was
for the
it was
next
nice.
episode.
It was nice to see Mace Windu and Anakin just briefing, and then right away go for a command
Yeah.
base, go for them. Like
It was a whole clone episode.
yeah,
And
I like that.
seeing how, well, and also the Clone Force 99, and they even Rex even goes, he says something like, "Oh, that's a nice touch," or something when he says Clone Force 99s and how it's like they have the mutations, and that's definitely an ode to, 99s.
Yeah,
But I liked how I liked how Rex actually addressed it. Because I mean, of course, yeah, Clone Force 99, yeah, it's 99s, but I like how Rex actually addressed it though.
What was the quote at the beginning? It was something about like.
what did the quote say?
I think it was something about individuality or
Like even if even people that like are different or something are have value, something like that. I don't know.
Hey Kevin, you have your phone right there.
Some
Wanna pull it up?
wisdom crap.
Yeah, we're talking about the quote that they have before the show starts at every episode. If you guys, if you don't know, but one thing that I really like too is how when at some point their gunship gets shot down and they're on the ground and Commander Rex and Commander Cody are like, "All right, let's do this. We got to form this plan." And the Bad Batch guys are like, "Nah, we got this." And the heavy guy just picks up that part of the gunship, and they just start busting
was
through
super cool.
this
Yeah.
giant army of droids, and it's going crazy.
That was a whole
All right, what was
battalion
that?
too.
It says, "Embrace others for their differences, for that makes you whole."
Yeah,
Very wise.
Very wise.
We saw lots of droid poppers.
Every time,
yeah.
every time that pops up, I always think Yoda's just saying that to me. Like his just wise words, just always like, whatever the text says.
Well, yeah, going back what you just with droid poppers, I love that. Seeing all those and stuff because we haven't. I feel like they show them every now and then, and they're kind of like, okay, now they're not a thing for like episodes at
It's
a
like
time.
you guys should be using these all the time.
Yeah, exactly. It makes
like,
sense. to
droid
use them
poppers
all the
are
time.
good in general.
And
Yeah.
I was so glad they used them the entire episode. I really like that. And just seeing this completely different fighting style of just brute force forcing your way. Because most of the time when you see clones fighting and stuff, it's like kind of like stealthy. It's not super front lines. If it is front lines, you're still behind cover and whatever.
Shooting at random things.
Yeah, but no, you actually see them literally. They're the ones moving up and like going for the attack and everything. And yeah, it was just really cool to see.
Yeah,
Action was just so good.
And the whole camera shot where they first get to the base, like where they first like took out the guards, it was just turning and like just pandering of all the scenes of like them entering the building, like getting the codes. Pandering out, like that was just one shot, and I just love that whole sequence right there. Like they got it good. They got this good.
Yeah, I like the. Oh gosh, what was I gonna say? Wow, I just kind of lost it.
How long has this
well.
podcast been going?
We are on an hour and 41 minutes.
Sorry, I just saw Audacity, and that was a really loud spike when I just talked.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's okay.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of loud moments in this one.
Jeez. I'm scared to like scream half the time, but I don't know.
Nah, it's fine.
It's okay.
Eh,
All
it's
right, so first episode's over. Are you guys more hyped now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
of
Yes.
course.
Yeah.
Every
I am
week,
so hyped now.
I
Yeah.
want to tune in.
Give us 3 more seasons.
I'm
Yeah.
glad that it's gonna be our weekly release, but like I want more.
Dude,
Yeah.
I know.
God.
Like I was
Dark side tendencies, man.
if it was not weekly, we would be watching it right now.
We'd be watching
we
every
would
all of it all right now.
We would probably be watching it right now, and then we'd probably be we would either be making this episode tomorrow or at like 3 a.m. and be like, all right, we just finished all the
Yeah.
episodes.
We just finished Bad
Here's
Batch.
our season 7 review.
Here's season
Exactly.
But then we'd finish it all in one night and be over, and we'd be sad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
Now we
honestly,
won't be
yeah.
sad for another 12 weeks, 11
yeah,
weeks.
we'll just be sad every week. And then
No.
get sadder and sadder and
Yeah.
sadder.
Now on your podcast, you can have your little 15, 20
Clone
minute
Wars minutes.
new Clone Wars episode bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
That'd be
not
good, yeah.
Mandalorian minutes. Clone Wars minutes.
Oh, yeah.
That's Rex and around thing.
Kevin, stop trying to steal their show. This is not.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Kevin, this is my show, not yours.
Yeah,
to
get
get
out.
them
Okay.
But Yeah, that was a really good first episode. Bring it back in. I like how it wasn't super in your face lore or like whatever. It was all right. We're going back to the roots. This is clones. And the Clone Wars. Here's some clones. I am a little upset now after watching that episode of them releasing the Bad Batch trailer though, because there was a lot of parts in that trailer that were basically just from this episode. It's kind of like,
Are they going to release a trailer for like every episode?
No, I think they were just trying to get us more hyped for
Yeah.
the start of it. But yeah, I was kind of like, okay, that was unnecessary because that first trailer that came out was super hype.
Yeah.
Well, not the first one, the one that came out a little while ago.
Oh yeah,
Was super hype.
I was so happy
But
when that came out.
I saw that one like 10 times. That was such a good trailer. And then the Bad Batch was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
And then it's introducing the Bad Batch, and then you watch the episode. All right, let's introduce the Bad Batch. It's like, okay, thanks Disney. Please don't do what you did with Tross. I don't want to see all these clips and trailers.
Don't go ham on the advertising.
Yeah.
Please don't.
All right, seriously, there's no more advertising. There's no need for it.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're
Disney,
good. We're
you're
good.
good.
Now.
We're fine.
Yeah, we're good.
Every week, just release.
But
Just release.
good job, Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave.
That's another
Dave,
thing
you're good,
I really
Dave.
like is right after the episode ended, it said created by George Lucas.
Yeah.
And
Because it was.
this definitely was the unfinished episodes that weren't. But in the newer Star Wars movies, does it even mention George Lucas? Because I don't think it does. I know the Mandalorian says something like
I'm
inspired
sure it
by
does
George
somewhere
Lucas.
in the credits.
Yeah,
I
like,
can't
Pretty
imagine.
much has
Nah.
nothing to do with it though anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like they
Well,
need to give that ode to
inspired
George
by-
Lucas.
Inspired by
Because that's what the
George
Mandalorian
Lucas,
does.
yeah.
They say something like inspired from George Lucas
based
or
off of-
based off. Oh yeah, it's just like based off of Star Wars from George Lucas. That's what it says.
I'm sure the movies say.
If they don't, I'm kind of because
I don't.
it's not
see-
it's not some of the first things they say.
No.
It's probably way down there, but I feel like they needed to have that. I don't know. That kind of stood out to me when I said created by George Lucas. Like, wow, I haven't seen that that's been a hot minute. But yeah,
Yes,
Oh.
Bad Batch. Very strong start for season 7.
Dave,
very good.
You made us super hyped.
We're in the game, as I would.
We're
as
in the game.
That's a thing that we say
Yeah.
now.
Let's get
We're
this
in
ball
the
rolling,
game.
Dave.
All right.
Yeah, I'm glad that's gonna be weekly though.
No,
Yeah.
I know. I loved how the Mandalorian.
I love
Well,
those weekly.
I mean, we've said this a million times on the podcast, but you release a whole season of a TV show in one day. People are gonna watch it one day, be like, okay, that was good,
Yeah.
and then forget about it. Not you if the Clone Wars came out on one day, but like for like most Netflix shows and stuff,
Yeah.
We're used to being able to just watch anything when we want now.
Yeah,
And, back in the day, it was like with The Walking Dead and stuff. It was like, all right, it's Friday night. It's time to sit down and watch
Yeah.
like our show.
Well, and the thing is, when a season drops on one day, you don't have time to think about it between episodes because you
Exactly.
just go straight ahead to the next
Yeah.
episode.
No, yeah.
That's
Straight.
what I mean. We get to think about these episodes now and take them in, maybe rewatch them a couple times before,
Yeah.
and then that gets us even more hyped for the next one.
No, yeah, I'll definitely be rewatching this at least one or two more times.
Oh
before the
yeah,
next
I
one
want to
comes
watch.
out. I'll
Bad
probably do
Batch
that every
again.
episode.
That weekly releases is by far the way to go about.
Yeah,
releasing
I'm so
episodes.
glad they
Yeah.
did that with Mandalorian, and I'm so glad that's going to be the norm.
That's-
The Obi-Wan show is probably going to be like that too.
Oh,
I'm so
yeah.
glad they're doing
And
it.
I feel like when you do a weekly release, you get stuff like everyone's talking about, like Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
There's a week period time where the internet gets to take it in, and
Yeah,
you never know what they're gonna pull out of it.
yeah.
I wonder what. Oh yeah, speaking of memes, I wonder what the juicy meme's gonna be for this season. For
Oh yeah, we're definitely I guarantee you there's already probably memes for Bad Batch right now.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Especially with
About
these
the big guy.
characters. Yeah, like the big guys.
I think this droid likes you. yeah. Oh man.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about with the Bad Batch or just the Clone Wars in general? Like maybe you thought of another character you like or like a memory you had or anything?
I want to say, do you guys think they're gonna bring up the Bad Batch like just in general after this episode? Because like, do you think they're gonna make do you think they're
What do
gonna
you
make
mean?
an reappearance? Do you want them to
There's
reappear?
like 3 episodes about them.
Yeah, this is definitely going
It's
to be
an
an arc.
There's 3 arcs.
Because I mean, it
Oh, yeah,
ended,
that's right,
it
yeah,
ended
yeah.
with
I guess I
them
never- yeah.
still
Mhm.
needing to do stuff.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Bad Batch arc, an arc with Ahsoka,
Yeah.
and then an arc with the Mandalore thing.
Oh yeah, Siege of Mandalore.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
ooh. All right.
I got nothing though.
No.
Nothing
I'm
else.
good.
I could talk
Like-
about this for another 3 hours.
No,
but
yeah,
I'm gonna
w-
stop myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should stop ourselves
Yeah,
now while we're
getting-
ahead.
We're getting close to 2
Just
hours.
leave it at. I am excited for what
I
is to
am
come.
hyped.
Yes, very good. 2 thumbs
Very
up
good.
for
Yeah.
Star Wars: The
Two
Clone
thumbs
Wars.
up.
Thumbnail.
That's the
right
thumbnail.
here.
That's the thumbnail.
2 thumbs up. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Closing remarks from anybody?
My name's Jeff.
Beautiful.
Well, thanks for being on the show, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was
thanks
really
for having
fun.
us.
Yeah.
It was an honor
was
and a
good.
pleasure.
Yeah.
It was good
Honestly,
having
Be
you
it for
out.
having the first episode, having guests on it, it couldn't
Yeah.
have gone better.
Yeah.
For sure.
I feel like this was a good episode.
It was
Yeah.
less chaotic than I thought it was. Gonna
Yeah,
be.
honestly,
this
it
is
was.
really
It
nice.
was a lot
I
better.
thought this would be worse, but
Uh-huh.
this is really good.
Hopefully the
Yeah.
mic setup is good.
I
Yeah.
hope the.
I think it actually worked out a lot better.
Yeah,
than
I was gonna
yeah.
have us just pass the mic.
Yeah, he
around.
wanted to pass him
That
like
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
looking at it now, that probably wasn't
yeah.
gonna be the best idea. But hey, we're okay.
and
Yeah,
I,
we made it.
and I hope the 2 times I actually did hit the desk, it wasn't too loud for everyone in the audience listening.
Yeah, I think
I-
I hit it a couple of times.
Honestly, I don't think you noticed it too much.
It's definitely there,
It's
but
a bump.
I mean, it's fine. It's
It's
not
a bump I do,
I don't
but
know.
I didn't mean
It's
to.
not a big deal.
Yeah, it's really not.
Okay. So that's going to do it for this week's episode. Guys, thanks again so
Yeah.
much for coming out, being on the pod. Follow us on Instagram if you're not at Live at the Cantina. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube, Live at the Cantina.
Like the video. leave
Like
a
the
comment.
video. If you made it this far,
Yeah. All right. What are
what's
we saying?
guys? Okay, so you listen to the pod. You know,
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
end we always get a hashtag to drop down.
All
in
right,
the
yeah.
comments.
You guys are gonna come
Yeah,
up with
well,
our
you
hashtag.
make the
I
hashtag
always
this
hear
week.
you say the hashtags, and I'm like, man, I would totally do that, but I'm not on
YouTube,
yeah.
YouTube.
Uh-huh.
So this should be a hashtag for YouTube, but also the girl chat. So if anyone else
Yeah.
that we know got this far, just randomly drop in the thing.
Yeah. So just a little context. We have a group chat on Snapchat with all of us in it and
Called
2 other friends.
The
And it's called The
Girl.
Girl. Yeah,
The
because
Girl.
it's Star Wars memes,
It's a
basically.
Star Wars
yeah.
thing.
But yeah, that's a good idea. I never thought of it like that. Yeah. Put it anywhere.
Anywhere, drop a hashtag. What's
All
the
right,
hashtag?
What's the hashtag, you guys?
All right. Hashtag the Bad Batch. Hashtag Clank Ahead.
Clank your
Hashtag clank ahead.
Clank your head. I like that.
Hashtag CLANKA.
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 Yeah.
Clank-
Hashtag-
Yeah. Hashtag.
Why is Rex blonde?
What?
Why is Rex blonde?
Blonde?
Yeah, does he dye his hair? Rex is blonde, right?
He's got.
No.
No. He's not.
He's a little bit. Well, okay, he's got.
Wait,
He's
His head's buzzed, but he's got
scalp
blonde
bite.
buzz.
super thin.
I
blonde
didn't
hair.
notice it.
Was it?
I just know
I don't notice it that
bald.
much. Yeah, I thought he was balding.
I just know it's bald.
I think he's got a
Bald,
super
bald,
thin layer of blonde hair.
I'm sorry.
So is that
No, I
is
get
that the hashtag?
Clank ahead.
Clank
Yeah.
ahead.
Clank ahead.
Okay, that'll
Spell
work.
it out, Kevin.
CLANKAHEAD. Clank ahead.
Hashtag clank ahead.
Clank ahead.
Clank ahead.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm Kevin.
I'm Garrison.
I'm Noah.
I'm Jordan.
Nice.
Nice. Dang it, the easiest part, we messed it up.
And this is the way.
Yeah.
This is the way.
The Clone Wars is back, baby.
This is the way.
Yeah.
My name's Jeff.